Hello everybody and welcome to the Benefactor at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Felicia, Rodrigo, Nick and Corinne with their adventures in Ilaria. Kate is taking the night off. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder. Let's face it, you're just going to use the wild magic. Yeah. By checking out the options in the chat bar. There are more options, I do assure you. But let's get into it as we play episode 117 of The Benefactor. And hello to our players. Hey, I'm using my thrown together rig instead of Kate's, and I haven't screwed anything up yet. Okay.
It is the operative word.
Look, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Who cares if
it
it's
works,
held
it
together
works.
by duct tape, spit, and hope?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly think there's a thing called there's a virtual duct tape, and I use it prolifically. So yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
Except dying from heat.
Also, I'm not
But
gonna
okay.
bury the lead. Scorm, you're fucking lying. Piece of shit, you are lying.
Yeah, just wait until he uses it at just the right point now.
Have I done a dumb thing, or have you done a dumb thing?
What is Kevin's dumb thing? What have Kevin done?
I don't know.
Like,
We've
enlighten
got a
us.
pretty good scale of dumb here, dude. I mean, a dumb thing is,
I am now very curious.
I have. Okay, what is your dumb thing, Kevin? We need to know.
Yeah, do I need to bail you out?
Do we even have bail in Sweden? I don't think we do. I don't think there's a such thing as bail.
I'm
Hang on,
sure
you
he would
invented
figure
bail.
out a way.
There would have to be bail. There's no
yeah.
democratic system that has any.
yeah, you invented bail. Of course there's bail.
Yeah.
Blood guilt
You
is
might
something
not
that...
call- you might
was
not
it
use the
blood
English
guilt?
word bail,
Yeah.
but the process exists.
Yeah. As in, you don't have paid bail, I don't think. As in, like, you can pay people to get out.
No, but neither does England.
No.
Neither does England. It's only I think the Americans.
Okay, it's got something to do
Yeah.
with Kev's foot. Okay, right.
Oh,
Okay.
that. Oh, yeah.
Did
What
you
do
try
you do?
cutting
Don't do
your
anything
nails with a scythe
stupid.
again? That's a Blackadder reference, don't worry. So, when we left off, Farewell did the most diplomatic and practical miracle anyone has ever done. He achieved his goals. And, okay, to a certain extent, it required Farewell's power to be able to conduct it. But he did also go and get the help of a several thousand-year-old Genasi wizard.
Look,
who
smarter, not
specialized.
harder.
Yep, it's specialized in biomancy. So yeah, you're one of the more practical saints now. Not that anyone will refer to you as a saint because you got to be dead first. So
I could be classed as the living saint.
Saint
That could be
Father
my-
He
Farewell.
already died once.
Oh,
so
Yeah,
technically-
literally. You're basically
It will
fucking
be.
Celestine.
Yeah, so you actually, Saint
Exactly.
Farewell. Instead of Father Farewell, it's now Saint Farewell.
No.
Upgraded.
My correct title should be the living saint.
Yeah.
Farewell.
yes, the
Exactly.
living saint, comma, Farewell Barebones. Yeah, there we go.
Farewell Barebones, the living
Yeah,
saint.
we got some fucking class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah,
Farewell,
I mean-
the living
It's
saint.
totally not a daemon from the warp, except Imperium Align, no siree.
I'm gonna just say, just because I'm powered by the God Emperor of mankind, that does not mean that you are beneath me. But it's glad to know your place.
Farewell's water Jesus.
So when we left off, you guys had returned to the Green Mansion with a kind of basically robed members of your family, a couple of startled humans, and a wood elf family. And
Yeah.
you
These random people.
yeah,
was, like, caught in
they
the
are
crossfire.
they are completely agog. The members of your caravan that you've saved, on the other hand, are pretty impressed and happy and really rocking it right now. Kind of looking around and trying to take things in. It's that they were not penitents, what's lay members of the Raven Queen. But they bounce back hard and seem to be really happy about it. Now, we can, if you want, fast forward to them being given lodgings, and I can give you all the details of that. But I'm not going to get rid of the potential chance to RP. So, is there anything that you guys wanted to do in the Green Mansion?
Not particularly. I'm mostly waiting for dusk so I can
I
get these
I would
people
like to
some
keep
fun
an eye
protection.
on Eclipse because I have a feeling she will figure out which one is Farewell's grandma and try and get the embarrassing stories.
The fantastic thing is that she's actually long dead, as in
Actual real
natural
dead.
clauses, actual real
Actual,
dead.
Yeah,
actual,
gone to the
real-
Actual real
Cascades.
death.
Yeah, actually in the astral sea now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That won't stop Eclipse. Not with this many grave clerics around.
Revive her.
uh,
I mean, we've already looked through like most of your baby pictures that were in Caravan, so I don't know like what else there is to find. Like me and Cora did. So
True.
like that is satiated for the moment. I could like just tell embarrassing stories of Farewell to other people.
And Gale his family about his life while they've been gone.
Yeah, the time where he knocked up that dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Let your
knocked out or
storyteller.
knocked up?
Knocked up. You know when we thought that he knocked up the dwarf. Cause,
Oh,
like,
I remember.
They
Yeah, okay.
misheard what you said and assumed that Farewell impregnated her.
Yeah.
Yes. Let Eclipse of the Moon tell you the life and death of Farewell Barebones.
The life and death and life of Farewell Beverly.
Life,
And life
life again.
Life, death, and life of Farewell.
Life and death, life again of Farewell Barebones.
So you can see that Iden is looking out at an ornamental window in the main vestibule, which is where currently is all the people that you've teleported in with is camping out at, as they're sorting everything out. And you can see that the sun is well over the yard on Iden,
Come on.
and you're kind of counting the seconds.
It's so like Iden by this point, like the Dust Hole has kind of lost its mystique for a bit to Iden. It's more like he's waiting for the fucking bus by this point.
Yeah,
He's
that sounds
going,
about right. It was going to be such an impressive thing when you first got it, because if Rodrigo didn't have their hiatus away and coming back again, you guys would actually have had to have gone in, fought, and taken the Dust Cold. But yeah, this is kind of interesting. It was big and mysterious when it first started. Now it's just basically, it's like Warden Canaan's mansion. Dump a little my imagination. So yeah, you have all these people about, and coming down the stairs is Renata Green. Farewell.
Aye.
I'm going to presume by the number of water genasi that this is something to do with you.
Yeah. So remember that miracle thing we talked about?
I don't expect it to be done so quickly.
Iden, without looking back from the window, just bluntly says, "Farewell play God."
It all depends on which one he plays.
If anything, I consider myself playing more of a conductoring role than any major deity role, because you know better than most, actually. So I'm efficient, as you know. That's the reason why you guys for our efficiency, as well as our witty repartee and eye candy, and he points over to Glory. Just gonna have to find somewhere to put them all, and work it all out. Any ideas?
Depends if they're willing to live in a state of quid pro quo until they can make it on their own.
They're industrious sorts. I assure you that they have their limits and their barriers and all that sort of stuff, and they have absolutely no fear in telling you this. And will do what is needed to do. You've got enough tradesmen and all sorts of other things in between here to cover a large number of jobs. And I think, if anything, Having body for the first time in about 2 years will probably mean that they want to test it out. Oh God, they'll want to test it out. Oh God. Oh, that's in my own brain and I can't unsee that. Oh. 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 Somewhere private. With lots of privacy, yeah. Lots and lots and lots of privacy.
I have sufficient buildings after the population loss of recent times. So, my offer would be any that need to resume their duties at the Raven Queen Temple, I will consider their part to society paid. I assume that amongst you all there are some decent Wainwrights, being that you are all caravan folk. I do have some holdings that they can work at. Those that are good at fighting, caravan guards and the like, can become street enforcers. And those who can heal and mend and whatnot. Well, I have quite the community to maintain. If they're willing to do that, we will consider them temporary associate members, let's say. I'll make sure they're all billeted near to each other as well.
Thank you.
Who are the elves?
I don't know. I think they may have gotten kind of caught in the crossfire, and this is like the worst time they've ever had in their existence, like ever. And I'm not making it any better, and nor are the hundreds of my kind. Well, I say hundreds. There's only about 100 of them. But like, or us, or the heavily armed guards, or the strange city, or the fact that we just went, yeah, don't worry about being in brand new bodies. We accidentally grew one of their arms back. Didn't think that one through. There's always little bits, isn't there, that you just don't quite catch, like tiny details that you just can't quite get hold of.
I don't think they're complaining about getting their arm back.
I would say that's probably as accurate as you're going to get it. I will.
I mean, if you really want to, you can chop off the arm now. If you really want to.
I did offer to take it back, but they seemed rather attached to it.
You see that a thin, mirthless smile crosses over Renata's face, and she says, I shall speak to the humans. They look like they are quite happy to remain. As for the elves, I can see in their eyes that they want to get out of the city as soon as possible. I shall arrange transport for them.
See? Who says miracles are difficult, right?
Indeed.
I'm so tired.
She leans in close to you and she says, I can smell it on you.
That... First, that's... No, from now on, we will never, ever, ever use that sentence. No. And second, what else was I supposed to do? There was only so many ways to weave that without going full, wings and ascending to a different plane of existence. I'm not quite finished here yet, and it would be really strange to explain. And he sort of like motions to like the rest of the group behind him. Have you ever tried explaining to them, sorry, I have to leave now, for I must take my place amongst the choir invisible. You do know how usually most of these miracles end, right?
I know.
Death.
I know.
You tend to get canonized after death. Didn't fancy dying. Wasn't fun the first time.
She looks and says, you're changing. And as she does so, she goes to step across the room. Everybody else watches as Renata very calmly and gracefully sweeps across the room. Nick, you see that she just bounces time forward until she's across the room.
Show off.
Like I say, you're changing. A few weeks ago, you wouldn't have even seen that. So, miracle performed. And don't worry about being canonized. Like you say, you have to die first.
Technically, he already did.
I think that's a technicality. We shall have to ask the ecumenical branch.
I will leave that one in your capable hands.
I think
believe
it's none of my business.
For the sake of humility and my future historians, it's probably best if I don't be seen to be chasing sort of my own canonization. You know, doesn't look too good in the history books.
History can be rewritten. I'm living proof of that.
I'm not going to say anything.
You don't have to. But it's nice to be able to speak to somebody and refer to it now. There's a lot of people looking at you both and not knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, like I was going to say, is the people like that we saved still around here? Because it's okay, yeah.
They're just thinking, oh, the magic girl and the miracle worker are talking about weird shit, but above our station.
I pretend I do not see.
Yeah, this is like.
So
Eclipse's tail is just a question mark.
Yeah, it's like
I
straight
do
up
not
in
see
the
it.
air, and it's
I
just.
do not see.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Have you heard about Jordan? 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 Can I tell you about Jordan? Who are you? Who are you?
So
Doesn't take long to get canonized. Just need to find a cannon large enough. Is what Sophie says.
next step.
I'm pretty sure there was a saint actually that was shot with a cannon or shot out of a cannon.
Poor Simon.
World building. Speaking of which, it's a dusk yet.
Rapidly approaching. Renata's going to try the question again and say, so what is the next step for you?
Things and
If
stuff.
not noticed the tabaxi that's running around like a child that's had way too much sugar, we're going to go help her. Yes. We're going to go help her burn off some of that energy and in eternal curiosity.
The city thanks you.
Thanks you.
I feel like Renata's too stoic to let show that inside she's just going, thank fucking God.
I would also expect
She was raised by nobility, mate.
I would also expect that in my when I am again, documented for history, that my sacrifice to the city for maintaining control of such things is heavily known.
I'm sure that the city will find a good place for your statue upon your canonization.
You know what? I think that would be fair recompense.
Yeah.
Just try and go with the more noble look, because some of them look really bored.
I'm sure it'll have a cat attached to your leg. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for bearing with us. I know that you've had a very harrowing and yet I'm sure relieving 24 hours. My name is Renata Green and I am one of the city leaders here in Ostergold. You are in the city of Ostergold, the pride of the Vardencourt Empire. In terms of industry and military might, there are no equal. On behalf of Duke Edmund Ostermark, I extend to you leave to remain within the city, and I personally am going to give you lodgings, which will be rent-free as far as I'm concerned. What I will ask, of course, is for you to give back to the community in which you will be living. When you have found yourself a way to strive out upon your own, we shall have fond farewells. But until then, please consider yourself under my protection. My organisation is eponymous, the Green Organisation, and we can be found throughout the city. And you can see the symbols. The winged snake, a kotal, is my standard. Anywhere in the city that you see that symbol, you are both welcome and protected and may call for aid, as long as it is reasonable. Please enjoy the city. Please speak to some of my enforcers before you go outside of the local area. There are certain parts of the city that are quite dangerous. There are factions within the city that you need to be aware of. So you'll be inducted, I'm sure, soon enough. I will get some of my enforcers to speak to those of you who want to strive out and explore the city, to at least either get some form of guard or go out in the correct numbers.
Renata, just be sure to tell me where you're putting them. I already promised them blood hunter protection.
Absolutely. So yes, welcome to Ostergard. There's a awkward round of applause, and she gestures to some of her clerks, not clerics, clerks, who come in and start taking their names and giving them instructions as to where they can be billeted. If you need anything, I believe your next step is in the same direction that we need, based on our last conversation. So keep me apprised of the situation. If there are any interesting arcane findings, I would be interested. We need everything we can in the fight ahead. So, unless there's anything else, she leaves you. I'm assuming that one of you is going to give the parcel from Demetus to Renata? Yep.
Yeah, Eclipse accepted it, so I'm sure she...
I'll give it to her.
Yep. She takes a look at it, looks through it all, and says, yes, this seems to be in good order. Simple Archmage etiquette. So, fantastic. Thank you very much. And she takes the package, waves her hand over it, because even amongst Archmages, there are things like magical traps and things. And when she's satisfied, she walks back up the stairs to the study.
Hey.
There we go. What would you like to do?
I think Ida wants to go to the Dusk Hole.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Dusk Hole.
Sure. Well, that's fast approaching as the rest of you go for some food. You can see Aiden just walks into the middle of the street. Focuses.
Before I go, literally, I just well, it was fun. It was fun to hear your wizard talk. Farewell. I do need to go get these people protection. So I see you all tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Again, I appreciate it. It's a lot.
And with a completely relaxed air, Aiden just steps back and pushes the door open with his butt. The door wasn't there until he gestured. And steps in.
That's cool.
2, 1. How fast does it take Eclipse to close his
I know I can't go in if he doesn't allow me, sir.
I think
I'm sure she tried a few times first.
I think the Dusk Hole now has a no cats allowed sign inside. Like, even though no one visits, it's just a blood hunter place, right? There's probably like a thing where it's like it's the thing where you go to a bar and there's like the wall of people who are not allowed in the bar, right? And so far it's just a picture of Eclipse.
But the thing is, I didn't even do anything bad in there. Like, I helped you.
You see, I think
fair.
If anything, it's probably the opposite. What Aiden hasn't realised is that someone has installed a cat flap in the And like
They are
he's completely
inviting
like
the chaos in.
he's like completely like there's no way she can get in, and technically he's quite right. She can't get in through the door.
But there's a cat
Always a
flap there.
loophole, and the cat flap allows tabaxis through. you just see
Just this little loophole. Yeah.
as she slams through the cat flap.
Okay. So she, you go through the door, and you go into the winding corridors. As I say, this was originally written as a dungeon, and you focus on where you want to go, assert your authority on the place, step a few meters forward, and you come across the door. The door that took Eclipse around about an hour to get to. You open up the door and you're in the strange, large, vaulted vestibule of the core of the Duskhold. 13 mezzanine balconies go up incredibly high. 13 floors. It's like a skyscraper, I say. And this is vaulted at the top with strange eldritch light at the top. You look up and you can see that hovering off the 6th floor is Lucrezia. Lucrezia, last time you left her, didn't know how to fly. And now, with her, still with her Bloodhunter uniform on, her boots and her cloak. Her cloak's not kind of wafting in the wind, but is kind of billowed out a tiny bit. She is clearly arguing with somebody who stood on the balcony. And she's just floating around going, "What?" And some of the words are coming down, but not all of them. Dangerous! How long do you think this... And you're getting certain things as they're arguing back and forth and mostly talking over each other in such a way where you can't hear it. What would you like to do?
I guess it's my job to fucking mediate. Alright, you two, I don't want anyone dying in this place. That'll be kind of weird. What's up?
Lucrezia, daintily. Although, Lucrezia being lithe, muscular, not kind of in a hench way, but kind of wiry like a dancer's frame. She's not really been known much for grace. Speed with a weapon, absolutely. But not exactly one of nature's graceful creatures. But she descends down onto the 6th balcony beautifully. Touching the floor, boom. No kind of slap of her feet on the floor. And she goes, "The old wolf is just pissed off that I've taken a spell brand is all."
Yeah, Hector can be...
Hector.
Can stick in the mud... to say he has a stick up his ass would be...
Compliment.
Statement. Yeah, compliment. What type of spell brand did you take?
Well, flight, obviously. I only just started feeling strong enough to be able to do it. Yeah, it's depleted some of my power. So what? I can fly now.
She got a point.
You're not here.
In game terms, she has permanently lost spell slots for the ability to fly.
Well, congrats.
I mean,
On one hand, that's actually pretty impressive. But do pace yourself.
yeah, I'm not going to get more. I mean, I'm hardly going to end up with, covered all over me. I took it because I've been thinking about this for a long time, and it's flight, man. It's not even, sure, it's great in battle, yeah? I mean, someone throws you off a cliff or a high ledge or something like that, you just fly back and stab him in the eye. You're fighting
That's
something that's
true.
taller than you. You don't have to go around hacking away at their ankles. You just fly up and stab them in the
That's-
eye. You know,
That's actually true, and I am
and it's
not
fun
going
the rest
to.
of the time.
I can't agree or
You're not
disagree there. I
wrong.
guess that's kind of subjective. However, while you do have a point, and I am not going to deny the practicality of it, if you were a better hunter, you wouldn't be in a situation where you have to fly up from a cliff or be in a situation where you're hacking at a big monster's ankles. Remember that for all our posturing about blood magic and knowers of ancient arcane secrets, at the end of the day, what makes us us is our ability, our knowledge, and our ability to plan and our ability to ambush.
Well, we're all starting to adapt now. I mean, there used to be just one way of being a canal, but since the fall, we've all had to go our own way and do our own thing. I mean, even Hector, as much as he beats on that drum saying that he's, the template canal, he kept himself away from all the rest of us. Yes, he knows some of the rituals. He can speak to the dead like the rest of us. He can protect our house like the rest of us. He can do seances and all sorts of other things, death card readings. But
I am
those are things that any of us can do. But the rest of us all learned to do things a different way. I mean, look at you. Look at you. I mean, you got a gun and a bunch of other things. Yeah, we used to use the occasional black powder weapon, but it'd be like one and done. You fire the bloody thing and then you pull out your sword. You've got like an artificer. Yeah, artificers never worked with blood hunters, right? You're the first person. Yeah.
I do agree that things do probably need a little shaking up around here. I am not going to deny that maybe the old ways are not as good as before, and I honestly don't want to get into a big debate about that. But at the same time, at least entertain him as much of a con that he can be. He does have years of blood hunting under his belt that can be proved really useful.
I know, and I that's why I was kind of a little bit pissed off with him, is that I've gone to every one of his training sessions. I've learned how to use the sword exactly how he taught me to. I just choose this one thing out of his pattern, and suddenly, I'm the black sheep of the bloody family.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Hey, do you want to see it?
It's fine.
Oh, it glows and it's in Celestial.
Oh, sorry, that was out of character. I hate saying this because it does make me sound but I do have other things to attend to. One of my friends decided to play God, for lack of a better term, and now I need to make sure that his handiwork doesn't result in something bad. Again, this is not that Ida doesn't trust Farewell, but they all agree that maybe there's a possibility they dragged something from the far beyond back with them. So, you're fine. Fly as much as you want. You got my blessing.
I'm going to go show Rhea.
Don't worry about it.
And she literally just jumps off the balcony and flies up to the 13th floor. Rhea, is one of the older Canelms. She was actually away when the fall happened. And pretty good with a glaive. And yeah, she flies up to show Rhea her tattoo.
Okay.
Where are you going to go?
Well, I do wanna get. I'm basically gonna do that thing from Dragon Age Inquisition where you get the war table,
Yeah.
Yeah, all together. Except no one here is Cullen, so that's good.
I was about to say, you met the closest to Cullen because she's a blood hunter paladin cross class, which is why she's got a celestial tattoo.
Yeah.
And spell slots. So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do the thing, with the map and and all that, right? But basically, like the two things I want to discuss is one, set out a detachment of blood hunters to look over the people who just came out of, who just got another lease on life, for lack of a better term. Um, um, you know, see how many we're gonna sending, how we're gonna divide them up, because I assume it was just gonna be like the entire group was gonna be staying at one place. I didn't think that we're
They
gonna be
more or
divided
less
into
are.
logic.
I said
Yeah.
that they would be billeted close together just to make it seem more realistic, but for all
But yeah,
intents and
so
purposes, they are.
we're gonna be sent like uh have Hector sent like 2 or 3 blood hunters
2 to
to keep a
4
lookout on them.
blood hunters is about enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly enough to just keep an eye out and investigate. Yeah.
Both to keep them safe, and if one of them just starts speaking in tongues and then something crawls out of them, well, you know what to do in that situation.
Well, the war table and the roster basically are in the library because you guys had to do some pretty heavy decommissioning of the throne room that was here. It's now the one floor that's a complete wreck. It's just detritus everywhere.
I really like the idea that it's like the Canaan war table, and behind it's just like infinite rows like of bookshelves.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's a huge library. So yeah, you step into this beautiful, almost steampunkish library, and at his desk, as usual, Hector looks up and goes, "It makes her inflexible, and it was dangerous. People don't do that to blood hunters. She's the first that it's ever happened to. What if all of a sudden it tainted the Celestial? Celestial's one step away from infernal or abyssal. She could have ended up with, I don't know, fucking crazy wings, grey flesh coming out of her back to give her the flight. And it makes her inflexible. She could have used that for healing. She could have used it for all sorts. And now she can just do one thing."
Yeah, you got a point, but what's done is done, and she has some good points about flight. If push comes to shove, I will speak to her, but so far, it's fine.
He looks down and rasps at his beard, which is looking pricklier than usual. It's like he's got a badger sewn to his face, and he rasps at it and he goes, "She's a good kid. But I needed to make an example. If people just start to go, I know our origin story, but if people just start doing reckless things to get hold of power without precedent, without knowing that it would be safe to do so, then we could go spiraling in all sorts of directions."
I understand. I get it. I'm there with you. But at the same time, if we are to move forward from where we left off, if we're to not repeat the same mistakes that led us to the situation that, sometimes you gotta shake the cobwebs and try some new things.
I will give her less shit for a couple of days and then forget it.
That's as good as I hope. That's the best I can hope for. Thank you.
I still want to put the precedent on them all that if they're going to try something, to at least talk to us about it first. Do you know she did it with a steel she just found lying around? That's Stele.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. That aside, otherwise we're gonna spend bitching about just one blood hunter all day, all night, whatever. Time's fucky here. I want to say this was, we already talked about the whole sending blood hunters. I don't think there's much to discuss there, but I do want to go. Next thing I wanted to talk about is start laying the foundations to what I'm sure is going to be the greatest accomplishment of my career. What do we know about the other blood hunter houses?
The blood hunter houses. Well, we've got
the other orders.
Some in Garandal. We've got. Let's see. You got me on the fly there. I need to open up the notes.
You can't tell me, hey, this is going to be the next big thing Aiden's going to be doing without me then going, yeah, so what's up with that?
Okay.
True.
He goes, okay. Let's see. Duplantier, pretty much everywhere, even in Scoura, although I'd like to recall as many of those as possible, but I guess having some sort of agents there is something. Black Dew
not
are
surprised.
mostly still in exile for most of the place.
Not surprised. Those guys are weirdos.
Like, we're normal folk, right? No, I'm in contact with Black
Weirder
Dew
than
at the
usual.
moment. Black Dew keep their heads down for the most part. They are working with us at the moment to take down a cult over in Khantoum. Weirdly, they seem to fit in rather well there. And, well, Navarrete have never really moved. They've been in Garandal the entire time. So,
Let's see. Question, Simon. Remind me again. Where is the next Tomb of Jordan that we're gonna be doing?
the one that Eclipse chose was the Border Fort.
Yes.
Are there any of the affirmation houses near where we're going? Because I do want to like kill two birds with one stone on this.
Yep, you take a look at it, and as far as you're concerned, because some of them they just like send letters from certain places, and it normally has written on the back of the letter where it originated from. You can see that in recent months and weeks, there have been Black Dew and Duplantier house members just milling about the area, but not that specific area because why would they? It's a shitty border fort in the middle of nowhere.
Fair enough, but still. Okay.
I mean, as the carpet flies, you could go to any number of these villages and just see if you could find one of them.
Yeah. But I don't want to like distract from what we were doing, so I do
It
want to
puts a bit more roleplay into the thing, so that's not a problem. Basically, you can go do the border fort first, and then go to a local village, or go to the village first. Either way, maybe you want to go to the village first to find out a bit about the border fort. Do they know any stories or shit like that? So yeah, you can insert it as you want. Even though yes, this is a Jorodan thing, there are elements for everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me think. What house is less hard-headed? I guess Navarrete is obviously not.
Yeah, he does tell you that Navarrete is possibly one of the most successful houses out there right now.
Yeah.
Duplantier have basically always kind of installed themselves as friends to people in high places everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically fancy warlocks, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So they try to stay humble, offer their services where needed, and for the most part, they're the most Geralt of the lot, basically. Ironically. Whereas House Blackdew tend to be more. They look like traveling hobos, traveling drunks, as opposed to going and having connections with local lords and barons. And
I mean, considering what they're up to, because I made them the House of the like Order of the Mutant.
Yeah.
Right. So considering the things that they get up to, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, they like to stay
Traveling
on the lower
hobos.
end of society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amongst people who maybe have seen some shit, beggars, thieves, things like that. Blackdew are good at.
That is simply marvelous.
Someone say hope this year. Just subscribe.
Thank you, Desir.
Thank you this year.
Oh,
So
Perfect.
normally I don't hear it when Glory speaks because it's K2's the producer, and then I was like, "What's Felicia? Oh no, that's not Felicia. Oh, I remember that." Normally I don't hear anything. So yeah, Blackdew, are normally digging around in the dirt. Duplantier are normally getting their information from the powers that be.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess Duplantier of Black Dew will be a decent start. Have to do a favor for a certain hyperactive kitty. I guess it's the least I can do after taking down the Witch Queen. So hopefully I'll find. Yeah. Plus, I guess she's my friend.
I guess she is my friend.
I guess.
I guess. It's not like I like you or anything.
Babaka.
Baka.
I love that we all knew where that meme was going.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think
Um,
Simon knew,
No,
but
I didn't.
And that makes
completely
it
oblivious.
that makes it even more perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess I am helping, exhume an ancient tomb that may or may not hold the remains of an ancient Tabaxi warlord. I am going to see if I can get one of the
May or
two
may not
houses
still be alive.
who may or may not still be alive.
if you listen to like Eclipse's inane ramblings.
Which I feel like, considering how long we travel in a caravan together, we have.
Don't have
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. I will see if I can get one or the other on side. All right, that done. Any words from any patrols? Anything weird happening out there? I suppose I should be I should be aware of.
Usual thing, taking down the undead. We're also diversifying into dark cults at the moment. It's what we're doing with Duplantia.
That's always a good idea.
Yes.
All right.
We have a few reports that you may need to read at some point, Commander. I believe some of these dark cults have sniffed out your big evil and are getting really excited about it. Although they're as oblivious as anybody else, they just know They know that the voice was out there, that's all. Turned a few of them crazy.
Well,
Crazier.
it's good to know that they don't know what they're messing with just yet, but it's still a tick forward in the doomsday clock, so we should probably get looking into that. Again, we're gonna need everyone on side if that.
You know how
fucker's ever
Duplantia
come back.
work. We've been burning out the nests. Don't you worry, Commander.
All right.
I'll put 4 of our more level-headed members to Ostergard, and the others can just join the raid teams.
Sounds good to me. Speaking of, have you seen Olivia? I haven't seen her in a bit.
I presume that she will be speaking to your mother.
That's always fun, meeting the in-laws. All right. Thank you. Dismissed.
I work here.
I guess.
You're dismissed.
Don't get fucking cocky on me.
I get to. It gets part of the perk package of being an old crotchety bastard.
And after being responsible for a good half an hour or so, maybe more, I was just gonna relax and wait until Olivia's done talking with his mom and just enjoy some peace and quiet for a few moments before he has to go back to Ostergald.
Where
you find
just when it's not like a rolling roulette of who gets the cat for the night.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you can't even lock the door.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. I just oh, I'm so glad I'm not part of the Eclipse roulette anymore.
At least not for this
You
night.
find your mother listening to Olivia playing the piano. Your mother's got her boots up on the sofa. Very kind of tomboyish, kind of relaxed sprawl that you've always remembered her having. There's never been this kind of stereotypical feminine grace to her. None of this kind of etiquette, knees together, all the rest of it. She's wearing leather trousers. She's not wearing a boiled.
Oh no.
Boiled. Okay,
Oh no.
we'll get to that. Oh, and Joseph got in there first. Joseph, exclamation point D6, and then after that, exclamation point D100.
I will find you. My vengeance shall tear the earth asunder. I will salt the earth.
So you see that your mother's wearing leather trousers, just a regular pair of kind of yompin boots. Instead of the kind of boiled leather jerkin or studded leather jerkin that she'd normally wear, very much a duelist kind of armor. It provides armor, but it doesn't get in the way of her fast and fluid movements. She's still got the leather trousers on, but she's now got kind of almost like a gi top. It's comfortable, it's thick, it's more kind of in the line of padded armor rather than leather armor. And there's a certain robe element to it as well. She's reading a mixture of texts. You can tell some of them are like holy texts, others are Blood Hunter lore texts, and she's, making notes and things like that. You've never seen her this studious before, but it's clear that she's taken a bit of downtime listening to Olivia playing the piano, and although it's actually a harpsichord that she's playing. And you can tell that she's still got all of this accoutrement around her, but she's mostly just taking in the music. When you walk in, you get that weird thing that happens when both your mum and your partner get up to come and greet you and give you a hug at the same time, and who goes first and all that. You.
Joseph has already rolled for wild magic.
Oh yeah.
This I am still thinking about what I am going to do with him.
Salt the earth with his tears.
People will
1,
not
2,
speak
3,
his
4,
name for
5.
years to come out of fear of what might
Ooh.
happen if they do.
There
I'm
was a
joking, by the
time
way.
when wild magic was used, and then the day, the
Of reckoning.
generations that we have not been able to speak of.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I love you,
Okay.
dude. I'm not mad. Just joking.
Um,
Just want to clarify.
Okay, so Olivia comes up and says, we've been getting to know each other, and embraces you, kisses you, and then kind of sees that Mum was coming in for the same thing and kind of steps back, gives an awkward smile, and she gives you a hug and says, she's so talented. I mean, I've watched her sparring, I've watched her, writing. She could be a wizard with that penmanship.
I am glad you approve of my chosen partner, Mom.
She gives a kind of warm smile and says, well, it's been nice being around somebody who doesn't stare at me as if I've grown an extra head every time I open a book.
I am sorry, but me, the player, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm already strapping myself in.
And
This is such a sweet moment. God damn it.
she says, yeah, it's, well, Hector. He thinks that maybe I came back altered or something because I've become more studious. I've told him I've stepped back. I'm enjoying my retirement. She puts her hand on your shoulder, and as she does so, a small spark jumps from her to you. She goes,
Uh-oh.
oh, that's strange.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
So,
Huh.
please, come, we've got food. And you have a pleasant evening with your
What
family.
happened? What was the thing?
I feel this is like, when you go like shake someone's hand and you both get electrocuted, except this is far more ominous. I feel like I'm going to blow up in like D6 days.
So, there we go. You have a pleasant night, and
You trust like that.
as the sun rises, you step out in front of the hawk and harness. As for the rest of you, what did you do? Anything notable over the evening, or did you just enjoy being at home for the night?
Just enjoy being home, doing some research. Probably went to Jacob.
Go to
Probably
Garrett's.
gathered everything so that we can head out the moment she wakes everyone up in the morning.
Yes.
Like wake you up like
At dawn. Because
yeah,
that's
at
when
dawn,
the items...
exactly when like Aiden comes. She's like, when it opens, like the dusk call, she'll be like, everybody's like should be like ready, brush teeth, eating breakfast at that point.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, nah. Probably we killed the witch queen, performed a miracle. I believe it's a spa day.
Okay.
Proper pedicure is needed.
Yep. You find someone who's not too terrified to give Dragon Glory a pedicure.
So they get the angle grinder out, and it's just like.
He has to put like the welder's
They
mask
need
on
to
because
be
of all the sparks.
appropriately shiny.
I was going to say, it is a
Everybody in the shop.
dwarf. Well, she is a dwarf that comes up, takes a look at you, shrugs, and then gets on with it.
Yeah, but there's
She's
like
good.
everybody in the shop is like having to shield themselves from all these sparks that are coming off.
Not just the sparks, but because she's part blood, like she's part black dragon. I almost said blood dragon. She's part black dragon, right? I imagine like just a tiny bit, not like enough to be an injury, but a tiny bit of blood, like just like spurts out or something, and it's like xenomorph blood. And it's like, right. Just get some gloves on and continue.
The thought has occurred. Put it that way.
I mean,
Because what happens to a black dragon hybrid? Not a pure black dragon, but a black dragon hybrid. There's got to be some things that are just a little different, right?
I mean,
Discussions have been had, is all I'm gonna say to you guys.
yeah, Eclipse will join, but will join for like a coke brush or something.
Yeah. Funnily enough, brushes are used on both of you as, yes, you get the treatment that many of their fur denizens get, and it's a stiff horsehair brush, which feels amazing on your fur. Glory, on the other hand, gets a much softer brush, and a particular type of waxy balm gets brought out that's normally used for Dragonborn. And
I feel...
they end up effectively polishing and descaling your scales. Not descaling your scales, desurfacing your scales, so they are lovely and shiny.
I feel bad for the people at the spa because I just realized that not only is half hat dragon glory terrifying, but also what was needed with the grindstone, this spot sounded like a construction site for God knows how long. Like the sound of a boss. Yeah.
Yep.
Someone put the kettle on.
Your cuticles are being done with a chisel. Yeah.
There's some poor 17-year-old apprentice that's been stood there watching for 20 minutes. That's done nothing but look on in horror and have to make tea. That's all they've done. Is this
but I feel bad for the
really
other guests.
young, waifishly thin Eladrin. It's just kind of like, this isn't beauty.
Yeah, whereas the dwarf is just going, this finally a proper day in the office.
You have a feeling that the dwarf woman was a masseuse, but they just kind of because she's there just working the muscles of anyone who comes in. Female
Literally.
Goliath, no problem, crick, and off she goes.
I feel like they already have a code for this, a code specifically for this, not for Dragonborn, not for specifically for a weird half dragon hybrid walks in. Oh yes, that's hey Maurice. We got a Texas size 10-4.
Yeah,
It's
if
all you hear is this really deep bassy horn. It's like a and the doors open and out come a full shield wall of dwarves. You summoned us to battle.
I'm sorry, give me your barbarians, your knights, your paladins, all the rest of it. Multi-species bikini wax expert fucking trumps the lot. There is nothing that this woman has never seen. There's nothing that can shock her or get it. She's immune to. She literally has under her class immunity to fear.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so yeah, you're up against professionals here. You walk in, they don't bat a fucking eyelid apart from
I
the
am
tea
so
girl.
sorry for
So-
I'm so sorry for hijacking.
I'm not sorry. Are you kidding? This is great.
This is content.
Yeah.
I will say that Farewell has slept in. He's doing that whole face down in the bed, like one leg and one arm out the other side of it, just snoring up a storm.
Yeah.
Like you haven't slept for 36 hours, and then it just like hits you, and you're about to lose 19 of the next 24. It's that kind of sleep.
Yeah. So you
Oh, that's why people are shouting. I'm like, why are people shouting? It's football going on.
Oh, yeah.
Why.
Oh god, I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sports
god.
Yeah.
Back in my old place, I actually used to live nearby one of the two football stadiums here in El Salvador, like two of the
Oh
biggest ones.
no.
It was one of those things where it's like far far away
No,
by
that-
walk but close by car.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
sort of situation. Whenever the local either the local selection team played or whenever the fucking local championship was going on, even if I wasn't watching because I don't care about sports ball, from my living room I could hear the yells coming from the stadium.
I heard that through Simon's or Corinne's.
Yeah, it's England,
Yeah.
Scotland, so there's a bit of a
Yeah,
rivalry
so-
going
well,
on.
usually I can hear
Go
it through the
Scotland.
walls, but
Hmm.
the next door are being a bit quiet for once. I won't lie. I have like the live ticking going on my other screen. It's not a
Well,
good game.
Of course you
Um,
do.
I did have in my lab where they said, when people have their breaks, we can put the football on in the breaks. I said, you're more likely to get people watching the TV if we do reruns of Critical Role, at which point 3 people in the room looked up. I was like, those are the Chris's in the room.
God, the first call center place I worked had TVs, and almost all of them either didn't work, only had soccer going on, and I was like, if it weren't for the
Kill me.
fact
You
that
know
this is
what?
the only distraction from tech support, I will be clawing my eyes out right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Yeah, my lab
most of the
brother
guys in my
started
lab
watching
are
football, and
rugby
I am
guys,
very
so
confused about if he's adopted or not.
Anyways, let's continue. Sorry about
Yes.
that.
Sorry.
a spa evening was had, and plucked, primped, and preened. You go to bed with only a mild burning sensation, you wake up the next day like a Disney princess has been eaten. You wake up the next morning, and as you come downstairs, walking up to the table is Aiden. Can we bring you all
Oh
together?
yeah, Simon. Actually, there's one thing I forgot to do. It's very quick. It's very, very, very quick. Any word on that sword I commissioned?
Yeah.
The sword that you commissioned, you can go and speak to them.
Yeah, I don't want to hijack it. I think I already had necessary time. So
No,
I
it's
just
fine.
wanted to know
There
what's
have
up.
been times when you've had to follow other people. You go and I think who did you leave it with? The commission?
Ariadna.
Yeah. Okay. You go to I'll say Ariadna because when I have it in my
Okay.
head it's Ariadne. And she goes, yes, you were looking to have it done tout sweet, weren't you? Let me just check. And pulls out a box. Beautiful. It's like camel wood. Lovely kind of sandy brown wood. Opens it up, and lying there is a sword. Is this an acceptable... And she passes a hand through it. Is this an acceptable image? And she's... it's not made yet, because you've been gone, 2 days. She goes... This,
Fair, but the D time.
yeah. And she goes, is this an acceptable image? We are already imbuing the metal, transferring many of the core enchantments. We should have this done in 48 hours. And what you
Sounds
can
good to
see is it has a thin, not quite feather blade, but it is a beautiful tapered blade. Not tapered so much that it's triangular, but it just has a slight taper to it. Slightly squared off end, really good for kind of chopping action. as well as thrusting, but it's not a epi. It is mostly for hacking the shit out of things. And you can see that they have embossed what you can see almost like raven wings, crow or raven wings on the pommel. On the pommel. The hilt of the sword has a cruel-looking crystal spike.
Okay.
Is this acceptable?
Looks good to me. Thank you.
The crystal is going to be made. Is going to be a void crystal. It should be able to process most things that have immunity to magic.
Music to my ears. I'll leave you to it.
Very well. We will have it done, as I say, in about 48 hours. We have quite the team on this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can check in. As I say, it takes a few days for this to work. Even with a full team of smiths and enchanters on it, it still takes a few days.
No, that's completely fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah. And you can see that there are a host of smith types and caster types having kind of a conference around what seems to be a large arcane smelting pot with what seems to be they've rolled up a blank, basically a mold up to the thing, and around the smelting pot large runes are glowing. So, you go back. I'm going to say you did this before breakfast. You're all in the same room. What are you doing?
We're ready?
You're there? You're all having breakfast?
Yes, I believe we are almost finished with the breakfast. So
I'm finished. Let's go.
Right,
Oh boy, this one's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Just remember, she will come back. She always does. You remember the last time she would sprint out like half a mile in front of us and then run back and be like, "What's taking you guys so long?" And then like run off again and then come back about 30 or 40 times, and then you get tired and go, "Can we stop for the evening?"
Where does she get all that energy? I feel there's like...
I think out of all of us, she's the only one that had a positive upbringing. It's amazing what a healthy
incredible.
upbringing
It feels like It feels like she's powered by a sliver of dying star. Anyways,
I can see Glory going, "What are you on about? I had a wonderful upbringing."
just gave her the evil eye, both Farewell and I just stare at her.
I mean, Farewell's feet were very cold last night, but I managed. Let's go.
She runs past Garrett, who's holding the map, going, I brought them.
Oh, map!
She dashes back in, snatches the map out of his hand and says, "Mind how you go. Goodbye."
Bye. Thank you.
She runs back out.
And he says to the rest of you, "Do ask her to send me the details." And
we'll try to remind her. Don't worry.
I was half thinking of coming along myself, but
if you want to, you can come along.
It's probably going to be dangerous.
The border fort, as far as I know, is abandoned. So I figured out of all of them, this would be safe.
One before.
Really?
This doesn't. I don't mean to brag, or I don't hope it doesn't sound like a brag, but stuff just tends to break around us. So be careful.
Yeah, I mean,
you're very welcome to come along. Don't ignore these idiots.
All seriousness, the last place we thought was abandoned turned out to have an aboleth in it. Also an undead tabaxi zombie, which we turned into a chicken and then shoved in a chest. The time between that had a load of cultists and zombies.
The other one had a town of demons.
Which then had a giant pit fiend
Underneath
underneath the village that we.
Point being, like, it's probably safer for you to stay in Ostergold. We will just tell you all about it if
Okay,
Yeah.
in that
you
case,
wish.
I just can't guarantee.
any artifacts or artworks or
Of course, of course.
anything along those lines. Then
I always keep my eye out on the arts. Don't worry.
And really, when you clear the thing out, I think it's worth that me and Jacob should start going to these locations directly after you've cleaned them out.
I mean, you can go to the other locations if you want to. I agree.
Just
Well, no,
take
because
a
they sound more
well-paid-
dangerous than the one you're going to. You mean the previous locations?
The
Actually,
previous one, yes.
That's a good idea, actually. Yes, I think Jacob and I will we'll go pack our things. Thank you.
Make sure you hire a good company. You need to have a lot
Since
of
this is such
well-trained-
important research, it wouldn't do for either of you to get even remotely hurt by bandits or such on the ways.
I shall make sure I hire a good group of people.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well then. I do believe Eclipse has been waiting for this.
Yes,
I
she
feel-
seems
she-
to be
I
hopping
think
up
she's
and down
going-
outside. So yes.
She's going to vibrate a hole through the ground and go straight to the center of the earth by this point. So yes,
There's-
let's don't keep
There's
her
a
waiting.
new sun dawning outside of the window, and it's literally just Eclipse, just like moving left and right in front of the window, trying to figure out what's taking her so long, and she's just moving that fast. It's like she's just giving off all this
She's
excess.
literally going to vibrate into another plane of existence.
Okay.
Like she doesn't even cast like plane shift or anything. She's just vibrating so hard. Her
Yeah.
frequency just like attunes to another plane. and
Yeah,
she's-
like,
all
have
I
my
can think
own
of that is
tuning
that
fork.
there's the elemental plane of excitable cats. It's yeah. So anyway, so you have a map and you're running down the street, Eclipse.
Ba-da-da-da.
What's your plan?
My plan, because it's not a plan, it's a plan, is
Realize that no one is following you.
yes. My plan is that caravan, Glory, question mark.
The caravan isn't here yet. It's gonna be a few days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I noticed Glory stopped following me, so I run back.
Did you forget that we're taking the carpet?
Yes.
Either
Runs
way,
back out.
we were just about to take it out.
Did you that I was carrying the carpet?
Yes.
I'm
The
gonna
dude's
teleport close and then, fly from there. Still doing that?
Yeah? We need to head to the university.
Okay. Go on then.
Okay.
I sort of just look at Eclipse, like, go on then. It's like, we know you want to.
This is your thing.
That there is a sonic boom or the windows shatter out as like as Eclipse taps into the speed force.
I mean,
I
I
don't
can
worry.
tap it. I
Glory
can
had-
double my speed.
Remember when Glory had a brilliant idea of self-repairing windows?
Yeah, this is
We
why.
tested that out on this tavern, so
Yeah.
they
This
fixed
is why.
themselves
I
immediately.
feel that Eclipse is that by this point that whatever she runs, she's leaving fire behind like she's a fucking DeLorean.
Yeah, she's at 88 miles an hour and she's just
The
gone.
smell of burning cat hair.
Yeah, I'll have to go from like building to building, apologizing. But everybody goes, we know you were back in the city. We know that you're about to leave. It becomes a very common occurrence, yet we still have to go.
I think it's her diet, Mr. Barebones. Her diet. I think that there's too much sugar in it. I think you need to, make sure she has less sugar and more eggs.
As far as
But
I,
never
as
mind
far
that.
as,
that Clips doesn't actually eat that many sweet. She just
Yeah, I
like,
was
eats-
going to say, as far as I know, like I've only seen her eat fish.
Yes,
Yes.
she only eats like cream and fish, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
I was going to say, if she's
She's a
technically
carnivore.
a
She eats
tabaxi,
meat.
they are primarily purely carnivores.
Yeah.
And if they're like cats, they can't taste sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's not really sugar.
Yeah, but the old lady sweeping her front doorstep doesn't know that. It's like, yeah, it's sugar, definitely. You know, you
Just built
Do
differently.
you know what
Much
the
to our
worst thing about it
detriment.
is? We can't get her off the sort of refined stuff. I think if it was all natural sugars, it would be fine. But she's got it in her head that all she needs to eat is this.
Yeah, she needs to go
refined sugar.
organic. Yeah.
As I said, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, none of that
I'll see you
GM
later.
stuff, no mish modified. It's terrible stuff, yeah.
No, it's notified.
Okay, we're heading into territory that even a seasoned blood hunter does not want to step on. Let's get
Yes,
going.
please don't stop and talk to the old lady. Right, so you follow the rapidly retreating cat down the street, knowing full well
Sounds
where
like
she's
it'd smell
going.
better.
By the time you get to the university, as they see this rapidly sprinting cat coming towards them, you do see one of the guards outside reach into his uniform pocket,
Terminator
pull out-
running at the
Give me a
guard.
moment.
pull out
Give me
a small
T1000.
T1000 running. You do watch what you do see one of the
No,
guards
she's running. She's
pull a
running
stone.
like this. I just sent a gift to the thing. She's running like this.
All you can hear in the background is dun 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 dun.
You do see one of the guards pull out a stone, and this stone is very strange in that it, instead of it being perfectly round, has a hollow. It's what we used to call a giant's toenail. Lived near the coast. It's a pebble that's got like an indentation. He picks it up, grips it, and mutters under his breath, "Archmagister, they're here again," and puts it back into his pocket. And
Oh no, it's them.
They return.
I mean,
Eclipse is way past the threshold by the time the Archmagister gets down there. But by the time the rest of you arrive, there's a slightly tired-looking old dwarven woman in very austere robes that goes, "And welcome to our fine establishment."
thank you guys. Thank you so much for going here. Bye. Thank you.
She tries not to sigh visibly and says, "I'm assuming that teleportation is in order?"
Yes.
"Excellent. You know the way."
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you
And
for your help.
she shakes her head in kind of slight disapproval, gestures, and disappears. Okay.
Yeah. Should we take a break before we arrive?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And they're closing all these windows, and they're doing everything they can to stop her from getting in, and she just doesn't slow down. And they're waiting for that inevitable, like, flat slapping sound.
There's a rumble. There's
Never
a
mind that,
rumbling.
like, I'm so fast that I, like, unlocked a door, so I'm running through
Well, that's the. It's not so much it's just you just appear beyond the doors. You're moving that quickly.
I was feeling like I like the idea they barricaded the doors, chained it up, and it's like driving a Formula One car at full speed through a fucking wooden door. It just crashes through all of them, like it just blows it open.
She just appears behind all of the doors, just going. No keeping me out.
Oh god, I heard that in a Palico voice.
Yeah.
Right.
I love
Okay.
Pelicos.
Yeah. Let's take a break, shall we, everybody? And we will see you in 10 minutes' time. See you then.
See ya.
and welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
When we left off, we were going towards the teleportation suites of Ostergald University. They have many.
Yes.
A cat is charging up with a map. The rest of you are just ambling along behind. So what are you going to do? A slightly...
Just a quick teleportation to the closest city.
Okay. There are no
Whatever.
cities nearby with this one. You can see that the two villages that are nearby are Barney's Rest and Goodholm. These villages are so small they will not have teleportation circles, which means you've got to do a direct teleport.
Okay, interesting. I thought we established that it would be possible, but okay.
It's possible. It just requires a little more skill. Thankfully, you have a sorceress. So
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Someone who is used to teleporting us around.
Exactly, which is why I'm going to give you a roll to do.
First roll of the session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't rolled any dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did some role playing, noobs. Right, so
I like that.
Scrubs.
Yes, Clips is running on 4 legs with the map in mouth. Yes, the question is, when Tabaxi activate their feline agility and run like a double speed, do they run at all 4s?
Yes.
Okay.
I assumed that was the case, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Double the legs, double the speed, right?
My notes here haven't got what I want, so I'm just going to quickly grab the player's
It's
handbook,
like
which
a
I haven't done
cheetah.
in a while.
It's like the cheetah, you know what I mean? They need the tail for stability, which they can't get if they're upright, and they're far more sort of sleek and aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Forward.
I'm pretty sure Clips doesn't have a collarbone because cats don't have collarbones. So she can get in anywhere it's like as large as her head.
Yes.
That's how she gets in everywhere. That's why locks are ineffective.
Yes.
That and she knows lock picking.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Not only
just
can they get anywhere as
imagine-
big as her head, she also has an opposable thumb.
Yeah. Imagine if Trouble could pick locks. You would never be safe.
To be fair, he's pretty adept at opening doors, but he's currently asleep on the sofa at the moment.
Aww.
Okay. Okay. Felicia, looking at the
Yes.
map, you've got 3 choices. You can either aim for one of the 2 villages that are nearby. They are tiny little things, almost hamlets. Hamlet is a very small village, if you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen Lord of the Rings.
There we go. See? Normally it's quite obscure. There's a lot of English people who won't know what a hamlet is. You can either go to one of the 2 hamlets, or looking at kind of triangulating it and looking at some of the other maps, you can try to aim for the border fort itself. But you know
Can
that...
I aim for the border fort, but just like slightly off so that will end up like in the field next to it or similar? Because I don't want us to accidentally get stuck in a building.
I mean, you would have to do that anyway. But yeah, I need to know, what are you going to use as a reference point? The supposed location of the border fort. Bear in mind, these are medieval maps.
No, not the border
Or-
fort.
or are you gonna
that
do
isn't
one of the
as
villages?
reliable. The villages will be a more reliable
Because people walk
idea
through them
in
a lot
order
more.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go for one of the villages. Which one? Barney's Rest or Goodholm?
Goodholm.
Goodholm.
That
Okay.
sounds more fun.
Okay. So you're going for that, which means it's this one here. I need you to do me an Arcana roll.
Yeah. It's you said Arcana. That would be a 17.
17. Okay, good. I'm going to roll a D100 and chat.
Oh yeah, because I don't know the place.
Yeah. You get inside and everybody gets ready. You're pretty sure you've got everything right. You're focusing hard. What I did is, if you got a certain DC, I knocked the mishap potential off. So you ended up only getting similar area off target or on target. You got on target because 91. You get in there, and the professional arcanist that you are, set everything up. There's that familiar lurch in everybody's stomach, and you are stood in the middle of a badly cobbled road with a bunch of people looking at you with wide gimlet eyes. Bunch of men grab hold of felling axes and pitchforks and the like as they see Glory's magnificent form appearing in the middle of their village, surrounded by a tabaxi that many of these people have never seen one before, a genasi, that many of them, none of them have ever seen before, and a shady-looking guy in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna brandish the sorry, I forgot what it was, but the thing that says, "Yo, Silver Hunt, Blood Hunter."
You hold up a badge, and they're all kind of there and like, we don't want no trouble here.
We're just passing by, and
Hello?
my friends.
Have you heard about the Hot Jordan? I'm going over there. I'm going to the fort.
Calm down. We're bringing out the carpet.
A knight walks out of a house and goes, "What's going on here?"
We're literally just passing by.
We're leaving. Bye.
That's
We're going over to the fort.
that's the symbol of the Silver Hunt, isn't it?
That it sure is. I felt it was going to be a reassuring thing. Apparently, it wasn't.
Well, many of the people here, sir, and you see that he had his hand on his sword when he first came out. He's taken his hand up and goes, "I assure you, sir, many of the people here would be not accustomed to it." And you can see one of the farmers there going, "Hey, are they all right, sir? This one here has got the mark of the devil on her."
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but I would.
When you affirm it,
The farthest from a devil.
His ear.
I'm barely even a tiefling anymore.
I
Not helping.
"Oh, you're one of them
Not
tieflings! I'm terribly
helping.
sorry, miss. I had no idea. I didn't know you came with wings and stuff."
Oh yes.
I look at the
it's,
knight and just
not
going,
the most common.
The knight
we're
looks
literally-
very apologetic.
we're literally, and I do mean this with 100% sincerity. We're literally just passing by on our way to somewhere else. We absolutely mean no harm to this town.
They came out of thin air, sirrah. Just as bold as brass, just appeared in the middle of the road, they did. I nearly did me. And the knight turns around. You can see this knight is, he's in his 50s. He's clearly kind of past his better days and just, got more aches and pains than anything else. But you can still see he's still, quite a muscular chap. And he says, "No, it's fine. This is how they work in the cities. If they need to go somewhere important, they will use magic to get there. Clearly, they needed to come here. Is there anything amiss in Goodholm? Oh no, you said you were just passing through, didn't you?
We're just passing through.
Yeah, it's the closest point of civilization to where we need to go. I assure you, good sir, there's nothing here of interest for us. We'll be just a fun story for the pub in the evening.
I'm sure it will be.
And excuse our appearance.
Excitable friend.
Yes. But again, we do be no harm.
It's quite
We're
all
being our
right.
way.
When I served for the Empress, I saw this thing on a daily basis. You can see there's a certain amount of respect that everybody's like, "Oh, daily basis." He's like, kind of thing.
Oh, fancy.
And the knight turns around and says,
Fancy.
"Amos, all is well. This one's a cleric of the Raven Queen, for crying out loud." "Oh, Your Honor." Kind of tips his forelock, Amos. He goes, "Oh, well, in that case, come on, lads, back to work, well, we don't want to be bothering this civilized city folk. And as he walks away, you can hear him go, I'm pretty sure the tieflings don't look like that, but, you see pictures, don't you? And they're kind of like walking off. But,
Glory,
Hmm.
don't you? I mean, I sure you do, considering your magical
disguise
prowess.
next time.
Yeah, don't you have anything to cast an illusion over yourself or disguise yourself? I'm sure you really like how you look like. I'm not gonna
Yes.
argue. I don't want to argue. But recently it's starting to become a bit of a liability.
Fine. Next time we are teleporting to a hillbilly town, I'll borrow Eclipse's hat.
It's not just the
Yes.
hill. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with this one, and then we'll work our way up once more things happen. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna see for like I'm literally gonna see that with Aiden's complete control of the Dusk Hold. I would want to see if he can set up like a pin-to press so we can have like a not an infinite supply but a more numerous supplies of the cards.
Yeah, printing
is
presses are within Illyria. Most
Yeah,
things
so,
are scribed because, but Ostergold, for example, has a number of printing presses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but I
just spent all this time rolling out the carpet.
Mm.
Sorry, go on, Rodrigo.
No, I was gonna say Aiden just pops out of the Dusk Hold and is like, okay, here's today's batch. Like puts a fucking like bunch of cards, like it's like a big stack of cards down. They all say your experiences are not universal.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, Eclipse was saying that we'll start small with the hillbilly towns, and then as more people react, we'll build up Glory's tolerance of hiding her scariness to the rest of the people.
Okay.
We just don't want to be mobbed, torches and pitchforks are not a danger to us, it's a danger to them, and we don't want to hurt them.
First of all, a pitchfork is a very, very dangerous weapon, and I assure you, more than one heavily armored knight has met his end at the pointy end of a pitchfork.
Yeah, I've seen
Never,
my fair
ever.
share of torches and pitchforks. It never ends well, either for the villagers or for their target.
Yeah, I'm
Not
pretty sure that even farmers get trained in how to use their improvised weapons. You never know if you're needed.
You've got to remember that these are not idiots. They will, whilst they will be initially suspicious because you're new into their area, and most of the time new can mean dangerous. As long as you're polite and you don't immediately melt them into goo, they will just treat you with a cold indifference and ignore you. I don't really think there's a requirement for her to hide who she is. Maybe tone it down a notch.
I look at
but not
Farewell,
hide.
and when he's done, I look at Farewell and I'm gonna say, no, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. You look fucking terrifying.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
yeah.
Thanks,
Yes.
it wasn't.
It's
Anyway,
sure.
On the carpet. On the carpet. On the carpet.
Just like hurting everyone into the fucking carpet.
It's like that. Just cracking you across the back of the legs. On the carpet. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, mules.
Okay.
Right. Pride. Woo.
Well,
It makes it sound like, the Jetsons flying car does in a cartoon.
Okay.
I
Sure.
suppose that's another first for the people of this village.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of the vendors who have got basically just roadside produce watch as the carpet goes up in the air, mouths open, completely agog, and as you fly away, you do see some of them go running to the tavern to tell everybody what they just saw, or to say, "Come on and have a look. They're still up in the air." And yeah, anybody who is watching does see that a bunch of people spill out of the tavern in time to watch
I
you
wave at
fly
them.
away. They wave back. I don't happen every
know
day, does it?
you know what? We really need to stop traumatizing honest village folk. It's starting to become a habit of ours. I don't know if I
How is
like
it
it.
traumatizing? They're getting a good evening story to tell all their friends who were off working. Yes.
Is that worth a card?
No, like that I think that's fine. And then she
Alright.
didn't mention like anything about them being enslaved or like having to like
Oh, God.
train to fight in like to be drafted or be forced to fight. So you know,
Okay.
I think that's we'll let that one slide.
Okay. So, you get up into the air, start looking around, and yeah, you can see the tower. Well, you call it a tower. It's barely an elevation, maybe 3-4 floors from here. Can't quite tell. Yeah, it's a tower. It's a reasonable sized tower. Certainly no kind of, giant scaling thing that you'd find in the city, but yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
And you
what
start
sort of
going towards
undead do you guys think we'll encounter this time? It's been different every time, so.
Let me see. He's gonna go
Undead
through the
is gonna
gamut of he's
continuing
literally going to
theme.
go through the list. He's literally gonna go through the list in his head. I mean,
I
zombies are
personally-
always common. Skeletons as well.
I personally think it's gonna be like a complicated puzzle.
Eclipse,
yes.
you have been hoping for every tomb to be a complicated puzzle.
We're doomed.
Oh, we're so fucked.
I mean, if it's puzzles, we are doomed.
Absolutely.
I mean,
correct.
I'm not sure which one of the 5 of us has the duty brain cell at the moment. But
It's funny
are
because Aiden has like +5
doomed.
intelligence and Farewell has like +5 wisdom, but we're
Well, Farewell has +4 intelligence and +5 wisdom.
Eclipse got +4 intelligence.
So, yeah, it doesn't mean...
we're the smartest dumbasses in Illyria.
Yeah, we are absolutely the smartest, most stupidest people in the world.
Yep.
I mean, from this distance, Simon, I'm guessing it's in a state of disrepair, this tower, or are we talking a full construct tower?
I mean, give me a quick history check. It's not the hardest, but give me a quick history check.
Sure.
It doesn't need to be perception because you can see the damn
Oh, I
thing.
hope we don't encounter guests. That would be bad.
6.
6.
I do not have the brain cell today.
Looks fine. Yeah, looks absolutely fine.
Ah.
Guests would be guests would be disgusting to deal with. I don't want that.
I would suggest we land a little different, a little
Perhaps
far
it's
out
a
and walk.
lich. The
I
Witch
would
Queen
rather
wasn't
not
a
have a
proper-
lich.
In the
I
world.
whenever I face liches, I usually like to have at least a few days of preparation beforehand. It's not something you just rush in.
Well, I mean, we did find an aboleth last time.
Just don't put that in the universe. We don't think those thoughts. We don't act on those thoughts. Then they won't
Again.
actualize.
Again, no guests, no liches. I think that's what I want.
I like it just empty and a nice, gentle walk, and a nice person at the end that will speak in plain language and tell us everything that we want to know. Will hand us a huge wealth of knowledge and items.
Well, just
And
give
we
us
will
the jar.
collect it. We'll collect what we need and the information, and we'll be merrily on our way, none the worse for it. This is what you put out into the universe.
Yeah, but now that you said that, that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
You know what? Fine.
So, you find the tower. I think you were about to say, Nick, that you didn't want to fly directly to it. You wanted to
Nope.
fly a little off. Okay,
Yep.
you find a clearing that I'm going to say is, let's say 400 foot away.
Cool. We and And it does that kind of like, the Imperial Landers from Star Wars, where it kind of hovers and then the wings fold in and it very gently, like a butterfly,
thinking-
just touches the ground. That's what we do in the carpet. It just very softly touches the
I was
ground.
thinking landing in a hangar in Elite Dangerous.
Oh, Elite Dangerous, Elite Dangerous. Frontier Elite 2, mate. That's when I learned to fly. Anyway, I'm old. Let's move on.
Yes.
We're aware.
Oh, Simon's turning 42 in a month and a bit.
And fuck you.
I can't believe you're almost as old as my dad.
Yeah, carry on. I'm just gonna add. I'm just gonna add a few things
Look
to
at
an app. Don't mind me.
Immunity, all immunity
So
to
what did you
acid.
say, Demi-Lich, right? Yeah. So
Point at him and laugh.
I
For
think
the
I've
love
got
of
the fourth
God.
edition. Sorry, the fifth edition Tomb of Horrors here somewhere, and
Oh God,
and
no.
not the one that Wizards of the Coast bitched out on. I mean the direct translate. Right.
But I tell you what, I mean, all joking aside, Gygax did do an awful lot of rocks fall, you die in that. There's no saves, there's no checks.
Yeah.
You just die.
You open a door, you die.
Die.
That's it. Yeah.
If you pick the wrong door, you just die.
There is
Yeah.
there is a printed chapter where basically there is a door that you open, Cthulhu is on the other side, and you die. That's it.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
another one where like you walk down a corridor and a giant boulder rolls. You've got no save. There's no way out. There's no check.
Yeah, you
for
just
it.
get crushed.
You just get crushed to death.
Yeah, it's like, you want to play again? Roll up.
Yeah.
Because that's what D&D was back then. Anyway, so yeah, you're about 400 foot off. There's a small amount of, not exactly woodland, there's scrubland between you and it. There's the occasional tree, but mostly it's just undulating landscape. You're well out of the way of decent farmland here. It's a little bit squelchy. The grass is sharp. And yeah, you've got enough cover as long as you're kind of stalking low. You've got enough cover to get to this border fort. But I mean, it's border fort. It's put in a place that if
It's
somebody's
designed.
if they're at the top and looking, they'll see you.
Yeah, but the idea is that if anything, we're easier to defend ourselves on the ground.
That on the
Yeah, well,
flank
that,
of it.
and we just point the cannon at the wall and go, make it disappear.
Yeah. So I would like, if you're all getting close enough to have a decent reconnoiter of this, I would like stealth rolls from you all.
Oh, that's fun.
Simon,
Mm-hmm.
before the stealth roll, can I also like just announce that I'm using my prism so that I'm not
You're displaced. Sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you are
just
displaced.
for safety?
Yeah.
Simon, please remind me. My fancy commander coat is just a flight. It doesn't give anything for like stealth or anything. Right?
No, I would say I'd probably give you advantage in if it was dark. But that's about it. Because you're
No,
dressed
that's
entirely
fair.
in black.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I was
Yeah.
just like I don't
To
know. Like,
be fair,
I
I have 2 giant black wings. If it was night, I too should get that. I can just hide
You're
myself.
also pink.
22 for Fella.
Yeah, but they're looking from
22,
above,
nice.
correct?
God damn it. 8 for me.
Okay, Felicia?
Stealth, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I expected. That's an 8.
Okay.
Ah,
And-
28.
Okay,
Of
so
course.
two passes, 2 fails. Okay, that brings it down to. Okay. You get close enough that you can see the tower in good detail. Before you press on, I will say that the tower has it looks like it has 3 floors based on the windows. It has an open roof that you can that presumably there's a hatch and it's got crenellations on the top. It's a round tower which shows a certain amount of
Smarts.
artisanry. Yeah, it's an artisan builder that would have made it. It looks fairly strong. The The stone is clearly old, but when it first was built, you have a feeling this thing was smooth. It was sculpted stone, what's known as ashlar. And you can see on one side of it, the other side to you, you're closest to the door at the base, which seems to be made of a very thick wood, probably oak. And it would be impregnated oak as well, which means that you can't just burn your way through it.
The oak is pregnant.
Thick wood doesn't burn necessarily. It just chars the outside. It's actually very resistant. You can just about see that on the other side of the tower to you, there is a larger balcony that's on the 3rd floor, so not on the roof, looking out. You are on an ancient border. This is well within Vardencore territory, but clearly this was the border of some king or something like that at some point before the Vardencore Empire was created in its entirety.
As soon as we're close to like a wall or something, I am going to use Scream Psychometry.
Yeah.
To again to see if there is any dark history surrounding this place. You know, give me a moment. I need to find where it is again. Scream Psychometry. Where is it?
Me and Squirmy is discussing how druids are born.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, when making intelligence check to recall information about darker past surrounding object you're touching or location you're present in, you have advantage on the roll. Yeah, so like basically I want to recall if there's any dark history surrounding this place, any no-nos that happened here that might have left this place cursed, you know, just to be safe.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Okay. Cool. So you get a flood of information. The first thing that you get is that there is kind of a base level taint to this place. You're not entirely sure what. It's not kind of like bursting with it. You've been in like dark cult layers and places that have been inhabited and haunted by dark creatures. This has that, but a very subdued version of it. It seems a little softened around the edges, a little worn, like the bricks are worn. You do get that something about this place is comfortable and relieved, and yeah, relieved is probably the best feeling. Like finally arriving at a location, or finally getting to get some fucking sleep, or there's this kind of finally feel
Right.
to the place, and also an air of hard work, devotion. Certainly devotion.
Mildly concerning.
Well, the good news is that I am not getting a vibe of curses, you know, horrible things being made in the name of a dark god or being. None of that has
Sure.
happened here. So we're free from all that.
Sorry, go on, Hyde.
So that's the good news. There's still, however, a sense of respite to this place that normally would be positive, but I don't know how I feel about it just yet. It doesn't seem.
And you do feel a darkness. It's just not as bursting and clear as some of the other places. that
There's
you've scanned.
clearly something deep in there.
Sure.
It's not overwhelmingly evil like other places we've been, but there's certainly something dark to this place.
Sure.
Then I would
Well-
assume that it's resting, if it feels like a resting
Well,
place.
I was going to ask, could you use your thing?
It's called the eye, but yes.
I just on the surface, on the walls and stuff. Sometimes
I'm gonna
these
assume
things
there's
go
gonna
beyond the
be a
natural
lot of
eye.
enchantments here, so do not
Exactly,
worry.
but the more information we have, the more we do. And while she's doing that, Simon, I'm going to pull a load of stuff out and just sit on the floor, pull out my spell book, and begin to work on a few things. So
Sure. So, Felicia, you bring your opal over your eye, and first thing you notice, really not surprised, is that this there's a very old enchantment on this tower. It's not very high level, but the tower has got some resistance to magic.
Yep.
Makes sense. Mostly, it's looking at the kind of shielding that it has. It's mostly against spells like Shatter, you would guess. This is just purely a guess based on what you're seeing. It makes sense. You don't want somebody to just sunder the tower. So it's probably stronger against those kind of spells than maybe some other kinds of spells. For example, it probably wouldn't protect that much if you wanted to just turn it red with Prestidigitation. It seems to be anti-destruction wards.
Yeah.
That's built into the stone. What's your intelligence modifier?
+2.
Okay. And yeah, okay. You have a feeling there might be something else there, but it's hard to tell. It's so old that all of the resonance of the spell seems to just blur into one.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, there's something else there. You can't quite make it out, but yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See you later, Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll relay that to Farewell. While explaining to the other two how, Free, because Cora is here, even though Kate is not, that the spells not only fade, but also because they haven't been in use for so long, that the effects muddle as the stone erodes.
Yeah, so we don't really think there's anyone living here unless there is some, like...
Unless they're keeping it decrepit for a reason.
well, let's find out, shall we? And I finish my ritual spell, and as I do, I cast Find Familiar.
Oh.
And I summon
Ooh.
a spider
Ooh, sick.
to appear.
Yeah.
So,
a water
Athena,
spider?
it's not food.
Sure.
And I just go up to one of the walls, place it in.
You're walking up to the building.
Yeah, I'm not going straight up to it. I'm just going to point it at the walls.
Yeah.
Where the building is. Yeah. Go have a look inside, and just pop it down on the floor and let it. Off it goes. And then sit back down, making sure that I'm roughly as within 100 feet of it, and close my eyes. And as I do, my senses go into my familiar, and I'm deaf and blind.
Okay.
I do the whole thing where, like, I've got my hand, Cora's got my hand in hers, so if there's any problems, she knows to sort of squeeze it, and I will immediately release control.
Okay. I need to just quickly check something.
I figured that a spider should be small enough to
Yes,
squeeze in.
it is
and
tiny.
It's a tiny creature, has night vision, and can usually get in most places, and would not be out of place. So wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Okay.
Also, the chat is asking for our team name, guys.
Team name.
God.
By the way, no matter what we ever pick, if we ever eventually do, it's never ever going to be Team Eclipse. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, considering the fact that you named our company the Wandering Eclipse.
Yeah, I mean that's as much as she gets. That's her one. That's her one thing. That's what she gets.
Okay.
She gets the category.
So you start riding the senses of the spider as it scuttles ahead. It gets within about 30 foot of the door, and suddenly your senses go black.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. That's exactly. Well, not exactly, but that was one of the things that I feared. So either some sort of dispelling magic or hallowed ground.
Give me a perception check, Phil.
Sure. Where is my perception? There is my perception. Oh no, that was the wrong. That's the wrong button. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. I keep hitting the wrong. No.
I am bringing up like our team name discussion that was like 2 years ago.
That's
Jesus.
That's the right button.
In 2019.
Was that 18?
18.
2019.
18 is enough. You you bring your own senses back, look to where the spider should be, and you can see a speck ahead of you. It hasn't been dispelled.
No.
It's still there. It's just not moving.
Interesting. Eclipse.
You can hear inside the tower
Okay. somebody's
dogs
going.
barking.
Okay.
Thinking farewell.
Well,
Was muted. I do believe I've heard about undead dogs before.
Oh no,
But perhaps
skeleton.
they're just the wildlife getting in.
Rodrigo,
Skeleton.
with what you
I
rolled,
flick
there
her
is
on the
no
ear this
undead
time.
here.
Yeah,
I
no.
flick her on the ear this time. Stop putting things into the universe.
Skeleton dogs are not they're not uncommon, as well as zombie dogs. Those are annoying. But no, trust me, there is no one. If there is undeath here, I would have felt it a while ago.
I would have thought you would have as well.
They're
Well
just
then.
dogs.
Which one of you is good at animal handling then? I would assume not Eclipse, since they might chase her.
Yes, I'm not good for that.
Actually,
But I will.
That might not be a bad idea. We know she could outrun them.
that's true.
Don't chase me.
I mean, that would solve a lot of problems. I mean, traditionally we have three choices, don't we? The Cora response, which is shooting their tails off. The sausage response, which usually makes them a friend, or we have the Eclipse response, which is they chase her and she runs away.
I thought the Cora response was just straight up cruelty to animals.
Yeah, it's just a straight up animal cruelty.
She's busy, so we really shouldn't degrade her character too much when she cannot defend herself. But yes,
True.
I agree.
By the way, this goes back to the name discussion. Apparently, we decided on like Jade Wardens, Emerald Wardens. We have never used that.
No, I don't even remember. I don't even know if I was part of that conversation.
No, doesn't sound right.
Mm-hmm. So, Kitty.
But yes, Kitty.
So, yep, I've answered your question, by the way, Glory. So, that's the one you get at the moment. You get the other one later.
So is Farrell gonna go and pet the dogs? Because he's good at like the wisdom stuff.
You guys tell me. Yeah.
No, all I'm
You could
asking Farrell.
Just do me a favor, Eclipse. Ask the owl that you never asked to do anything to go fly at the building for me.
Okay, go.
Sure.
And I'll look through her eyes.
Sure. I'll just go and look up Athena.
Just wanna. I'm just.
She's like normal owl.
No,
oh,
I'm.
Yeah, she gets that.
I'm just
that's cocked.
ruminating on something.
Athena gets within 30 foot of the front door and plummets to the ground.
Oh no! I run to get her.
No, I grab Eclipse. No.
I'm actually going to try something. I'm gonna grab a coin because we're in front of a door, right? Like, we're in front of
Shall we
front of
send-
the threshold.
You're about 200 foot away from. No, I'm gonna say actually no. 120 foot away from the door.
I'm 100 feet from the door.
100 feet from the door. I'll accept that. You're 100 feet away from the door, but the two familiars that you sent in, once they got within 30 foot of the door, became inactive.
Okay, so this is going. I'm going to make basically, I'm gonna make a test, right, to see if it's like just magic that gets fucked up, or if it's all matter. I am going to toss a coin in and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens. Oh, by the way, when the owl plummeted, the dogs renewed their barking with extra vigor. When you throw the coin, nothing happens. No dogs either.
So it's not a disintegration field.
Well, no, we can.
Well, no, because you can see the owl still on the floor.
Right, but still.
No, the issue here is either.
Oh, hang on. No, the owl unfortunately hit the floor and obliterated.
Oh yeah, this is 1 hit point.
The spider lived.
Because it was on the ground.
The spider lived, and when Aiden threw the coin didn't get obliterated. It's still shining on the floor.
Yeah. So.
Shall we send Glorious creepy snake thing?
No more sacrificing stuff to the door.
I want to sacrifice it.
Yes, I know you do. However, there's a very good chance that there is quite clearly some magical effect there that is stopping them. Now, that could either be that it is overriding their minds or their will, and it causes them to stop and plummet.
Simon, question.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden's ability to become temporarily ethereal. Can he? Does he have it like in? By this point, do you think he has enough mastery of it so he can just turn one part of his body ethereal instead of like all of himself?
Like putting your hand through a wall or something.
Yeah, like making part of his left arm ghost essentially, but the rest of him is normal.
Yeah, I'd say you probably have had enough practice. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to focus a bit, partially turn ghost, just like this part of up to here from the left arm, and I'm gonna put my army in and see what happens.
To the 30 foot range. Okay, you're not entirely sure where the field starts, because as far as the two familiars being sent in, it was roughly that distance. Yeah. But yeah, you get up to it. You start waving your ghostly hand into what you think is the start of the field, and you hear, "Fuck off!"
Okay,
from one of the windows.
But nothing happens to like it doesn't go back to normal. It doesn't disappear or anything.
No, you stay out of the field because you said you're only waving your arm in, and as you're doing that and getting closer, you do hear from one of the windows, "Fuck off!"
Well, that answers the question.
Fuck off! We got the pox.
I'm a cleric. I could probably help.
Don't care. Fuck off.
I can't be. No, I'm sorry. That's not what people with the pox say.
Well, this one's a bad one.
But if you really got the
pox,
pox,
fuck off. Sling your hook.
We can help you.
Don't want any help. Fuck off.
Listen, either you tell us what's going on, or we're not leaving. And trust me, there is literally, by this point, there's probably no way you can make us leave.
Don't care if you leave.
Don't want to do
you
the
just fuck
puppet
off.
show
Stay
again.
out.
Cora, do we need to do the puppet show again? Is this time for the puppet show?
No, it's not time for the puppet show.
Simon, when I observed Aiden waving through the air there, was there any way to see if there's some form of barrier, alarm, or similar?
I just rolled an intelligence check for you. Yes, as you get closer and still using the opal every now and again, there is indeed a 30-foot barrier in front of the front door.
Any idea of any type of specifics about the barrier?
Abjuration is all you get.
Would you like a crack at it, or should I?
I'm just thinking abjuration.
Defendy.
Yeah.
Very well hit.
I'm gonna turn my hand back to normal. I already checked what I wanted to check.
Sure. And you can see that Aiden is probably like inches away from the start of the field.
Perhaps. Yeah, let's try the easy way first. And I take out my wand of dispelling.
Mm-hmm.
I wish to attempt it.
Oi! That's vandalism, that is.
Well, let us in then.
No!
And I have political immunity.
No,
No, you don't.
No.
Shh, they don't
Oh.
do that.
This is our home. Fuck off.
Well,
Why do you live in a dirty abandoned Waterford?
Why do you live by walking around in a fucking field?
We don't live here.
is this literally the Frenchman from Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
how far up is the voice coming from?
Yeah.
It's on the first floor, or if you're in Europe, the second floor.
Okay, fine. Roll out the carpet, shall we?
Thank
And
you.
I go whoop, straight up to the first floor, staying about 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Like,
You can see indeed that in this arrow slit, it's not a proper window; it's an arrow slit. You can see that they just about see that there's somewhere like very impressive. Now fuck off.
Am I allowed to destroy the fort?
No. So what's the terminal velocity for swallow?
Find the terminal velocity of someone falling off a carpet in a minute.
I wouldn't try that if I were you. It would be hazardous to your health.
That's okay. I don't know how to do it anyway.
I got that.
So, have you
Hold
heard
on.
about the Heart of Jordan?
Oh my god.
Ooh.
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 Okay.
I was going to say, Simon,
Yeah.
I'll let you do that first.
It's funnier.
Because it's funnier. But I do have the friends cantrip, and I was going to use that. But I'll let you do that bit first.
Okay. Yeah. Like a noob, I closed the thing that I was using, so bear with me a sec. I need to check that one. And sure. He goes, Juradan, who the fuck's that? And he pronounces it perfectly.
Ah.
Oh,
I don't even need an insight check.
yeah, it's just all of us.
I
all of
rolled
us just
a 4.
it's all of us go. Oh, not
Ah.
another village. Oh, god damn.
No, we don't.
Taxi souls inside of the body, are you? We've done that one.
Yes, please don't be a Tabaxi soul inside a demon.
He says,
Inside a human host, whatever.
Tabaxi? What's a tabaxi? Pronouncing tabaxi perfectly as if a tabaxi had said
Look,
it.
man, the show's up. We're seeing right through
Okay.
your bullshit. Just get on with
You,
it.
you're obviously very knowledgeable about Jordan. I'm on the path. I'm going to just collect a few things. Get with the generals. You're on top of one of the places I need to go. Please let me in.
Did the word disappear when I used the spell magic on it, Simon?
Give me an Arcana check, please.
Yeah.
Kind of ignore that. Sorry about that.
Oh, no,
Okay,
it's
there's a lot
fine.
going
It's
on.
good role playing. But I just thought I'd check. 25.
Yeah, fair enough.
25. You hear a kind of yelp from the person you're speaking to when you turn around and go, and as you hit it, there's a smell of phosphorus and a shimmering, metallic, glittering symbol for obliviation. Although it has a number of interpretations, suddenly flares on the door and fades. Both
That's
the
funny.
and actually, I was about to say both the spider and the owl. The owl's gone. The spider wakes up.
Oh,
There we
interesting.
go.
Ah, cool.
You can
Hello.
go in now, Eclipse.
Hold on. Hello, new friend. It'd be really nice if you approached us and I cast command on him.
Okay.
Ooh.
You still need to do a social roll. Command.
Command.
Yeah.
Okay.
Command.
What was the command?
Approach.
If he fails his wisdom saving throw, DC 19,
Oof.
he must move towards me by the shortest, most direct route, ending its turn if
He's
it moves
pressed up
within
against
5
a
feet.
wall, so I'm not.
Yeah,
entirely-
it's the short term director, but he can't like put himself directly in
Yeah,
danger.
he
I
can't
think.
jump through a window
So he will go. So he will go. Imagine he will go down the stairs and all.
and
that.
out
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
He's
you said
open
what was it?
door.
What saving throw was
Wisdom
it?
19.
Wisdom
19.
19. Yeah. He goes, approach. Does this work? And through the arrow slit, he does that.
Oh wow.
Oh wow!
Oh,
well done.
He
Okay.
pulls it back in. Yeah, he resisted.
Okay. You can melt this one.
No, 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 no.
This is this
By
one's
the
a
time
freebie.
Eclipse says no, Gloria's already raised her hand.
Like, yeah.
The hand goes up and a paw goes like that.
No.
It's like those Reddit videos when you stop petting the cat and the cat just pulls your hand closer again. In this case, it goes like that and the paw goes, no.
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 Okay, yeah.
Listen.
Some days you win them, some days you don't.
Listen, I'm
Of
going to
this-
be quite honest. Patience wearing thin. We can do this the nice way, or again, hazardous. There might be something that'd be hazardous to your health.
What part of fuck off meant that I wanted to do it the nice way?
So
What part of being a fucking cunt, or did you not get as well? Get out of here, you piece of shit.
okay.
I like
What do you
him.
call? Okay. Okay. Fine. So
Yeah, not everyone
Please.
is nice.
have a look. I am obviously a tabaxi, as you.
Are you?
so- yes.
Okay, you know what? Actually, no, Eclipse, go ahead.
We are done with this bullshit.
I am done. All right. Okay, but Eclipse, go ahead. I'll let you do your thing first.
Yes. I'm obviously a tabaxi. You obviously know what I am.
I
You know
are.
I'm here for the Jordan. For the Jordan.
For the Jordan.
For the Jordan.
It rattled
That's the
you
end
that
goal,
much.
though.
For Jordan the Great, who has historical Europe upon one of the historical dig sites. I need to get in there.
Uh-huh. And fuck off.
Okay,
Is
Simon,
where I'm
listen,
going.
Okay,
Simon,
fine,
Simon,
fine. Now,
Simon.
Yeah,
Simon,
go on.
as soon as the F of fuck off leaves his mouth, I am going to grab my pistol and do a warning shot, literally missing the arrow slit by like a bit.
Sure. Give me an attack roll just for flexing.
We do like attack rolls for flexing.
Yeah.
you know what? I don't have time for this. And I cast
yeah.
invisibility on myself.
Yep.
I need to finish this up first.
Remember,
That's going to be dirty 20.
Dirty 20. It's a good flex shot. I mean,
Like,
you
literally,
feeling
like,
like
F-
you feel like he got hit by a piece of stone that got chipped off by your shot.
I literally, like, as soon as the F, like, from a fuck off leaves his mouth, I then just quick draw the witchlock pistol, shoots at, like, next to the arrow slit to be like, my patience wearing thin, next time I won't miss.
Walls are thicker than that, mate.
Okay, I will cast suggestion on him, and the suggestion will be, you will let us in. I cannot be bothered.
Sure. Okay. What do I need to do? A save?
Yeah, wisdom save.
A wisdom save. Oh, he likes those. Okay.
Yes.
He's got better ones. Oh no! No, I rolled a 4.
Ah!
Finally.
Yes, finally.
Okay. He goes, "Yeah, all right."
There we go.
And then
Finally.
you hear the sound, a very familiar sound of flesh on flesh, as someone punches someone and goes, "All right, I won't, bloody hell."
The charm is not breaking by him taking damage, I think. It must be damage from us. I need to double check.
I'm going to stick with, I acknowledge that, and that is correct, but somehow he's had it dispelled.
Yeah.
By being punched in the nose.
All right.
Well then, I do believe it's our turn. And
We are not melting them. These are just complete idiots sitting in the tower here. We are not melting the,
It's
innocent
fine.
farmers.
okay,
We're
you
not
can
gonna
tie them up and throw them in the dungeon or whatever you'd like. But we're going inside.
I will give you a card, but part of me just wants to shoot them where the sun don't shine.
Exactly.
I will just very gently take us down to the ground, roll the carpet back up, walk up to the door. Eclipse.
Thank you.
As you get to the door, you can hear, I think it's 4 dogs. Let me just check. 4 dogs barking their fucking heads off.
How many targets can you sleep at once?
As many as you have hit points for. I'm thinking hypnotic pattern otherwise, because that's as long as they're in a thing.
I think sleep's a better one. I don't know why.
Since you don't want to kill things and we are against animal cruelty, looks at Cora.
Doesn't Cora have sleep?
I think Cora does.
Good fucking question.
She does, I think.
We can check her character sheet.
It feels wrong using her character, but she is technically here.
See,
Yes.
I have a Roll20 map for this, but I have a feeling it's probably better doing this mind's eye. The map that I would have used is provided by Neutral Party Games. Have a look at their mage tower that has 3 floors. It's really, really good.
I will be using their maps during when no room for a wallflower.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
that as well.
I've used so many of them now. I'm gonna have to look for a new map producer because I'm using them faster than they can make them.
I think she's gotten
Yeah.
rid of sleep.
Yeah, she doesn't have sleep.
Oh, she
It
doesn't have
doesn't
sleep?
say
Okay.
on. No. She has hold monster and hold person, but. And scry.
Yeah, you can hear a human and 4 dogs, or a person and 4 dogs, barking at this very substantial door.
Actually, here's a very...
Ideas, Rodrigo?
I have an idea, but I don't know if I... Okay, no, never mind. I need to be able to see them.
Well, I assume that will happen as soon as we open the door.
Yeah.
Can I
mean-
peek through the keyhole, Simon?
Well, I technically have meld with stone.
Mm-hmm.
That does mean I can meld with the wall and come out the other side.
Oh yeah, I can also full on do this ethereal step.
I could also
Miss
basically
that.
you homer it. You sort of go and you're gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 things. Misty Step requires you to see the location that
Yeah.
you're going to.
Oh, I was thinking from there through the
Eclipse,
because I
there
can
is
see
no-
through the hole in the in the arrow slit, so to say.
You can see through the arrow slit. That's true. You can see those. There are no arrow slits on the ground floor, so you would have to go in
No.
at the first floor.
Yeah.
Eclipse, you are disgusted to find that there is no keyhole or indeed lock on the outside of this door. Yeah, and there does seem to be a small hatch that they would open to see who's on the other side of the door, and they're not opening.
All right. Fuck it.
Mark.
Glory.
Yeah.
Blow this.
Go fly. Go incapacitate them. Don't
I
kill them.
specifically-
Philip, sweetheart, I don't know how to incapacitate.
You have.
Glory, just blow the fucking door open.
Oh yeah, that you can do that.
That I can do.
Mhm.
Simon,
Mm-hmm.
can I specifically target the hinges when?
You can't because you can't see them. The door opens inwards, and the buttress of the door is here. The hinges are just behind it. It opens inwards.
Ah, okay. And you said it was kind of resistant to fire because it's a hardwood door.
The large door is resistant to regular fire.
How resistant to acid would I assume it is?
You don't know.
And then Simon's now specifically put in that it is resistant to is acid. Just
No, I don't do that stuff. Unless, of course, you're going up against somebody who has studied you, in which case, yes, that will happen because they've studied you.
Fair.
Yes, of course.
Let me just find one of my doors for reference.
Is anything interesting with England Scotland happening, or is it still 0-0?
Okay. Cool.
Question.
I don't know.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a little bit more outlandish and a bit creative, I would think, but
Oh, that's the best kind of solutions.
animate objects the door and make it open itself.
Ooh.
Ooh, I love that.
I love that.
Okay. Now we're talking.
That's what I like to hear.
I have a lot of answers for a lot of things. Animate objects. Here we go. Animate objects. Objects come to life at your command. Choose up to 10 non-magical objects within range that are not being worn or carried. Medium targets count as 2. Large targets, as this, count as 4 objects. So technically you could do up to 2 of these doors. You can't animate any object larger than huge. Meh. The target animates and becomes a creature under your control until the spell ends or until reduced to 0 hit points. As a bonus action, you can mentally command the creature you made with the spell if the creature is within 500 foot of you. If you control multiple creatures, you can command any or all of them at the same time. You decide what action the creature will take and where it will move during its next turn, or you can issue a general command. And okay, so as a large, yep, okay, that makes sense. So it's got the same hit points as it would do as a door.
Yeah.
And it only gives it strength and dex. Oh, here we go. Its intelligence and wisdom are 3. Okay, yeah, sure. Its speed is 30 foot. How does a door have a speed of 30 foot?
I mean, that's the.
It slams.
That's how quickly it opens, then, I guess. Oh yeah, it says if it's securely attached to a surface, such as a chain bolted to a wall, its speed is 0. It has blind sight, and a radius of 30 foot is blind beyond that distance. Yeah, sure, I'd allow that. You will have to roll. The spell itself doesn't ordinarily require a roll, but I would need a roll at disadvantage, but the DC is only 10. And your spellcasting modifier
spell
is
attack,
huge. Yeah, spell attack, yeah.
Come on, you have ridiculous amount of. This has to be good.
I roll an 18 and a 19.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
And I have plus 11.
You can
Yeah, there we
feel
go.
this old enchantment resisting you, but animation wasn't one of its things. So it gave you disadvantage, but the DC didn't go any higher than a 10. Yeah, you tell the door to open itself. You will find later on that the door on the other side had 2 large beams of wood in like kind of U-shaped holders, and you would have to literally lift the 2 large oak beams. The door, now animated, just goes like that and drops the beams. You hear a yelp as 2 large oak beams hit a dog.
No.
And the door opens up. You can see in front of you 4 large mastiff dogs snarling at you.
Is there any humanoids?
Ready to attack, and 1 humanoid. The humanoid seems to be the Houndmaster.
Immediately.
A sweaty, bald-headed, rotund guy who has got this kind of big, swelled belly. It looks like he hasn't washed in weeks. Aiden, before you, I will give you what you want, but first of all, you need to do me a roll with advantage. Give me perception with advantage.
Ooh, fancy. Let's see. The advantage was so welcome. Give me a moment. That's going to be 13.
13.
Oh wow.
Okay, at 13, all I can tell you is that something is wrong.
Well,
I
as
cast
soon
Eyes of the Grave.
yeah,
No
but
undead are nearby.
as soon as the door opens, as soon as I see him like about to move an inch, I'm gonna use Blood Curse of the Binding on him, and I'm obviously gonna amplify it. So give me a moment.
Sure.
It's a Strength save DC. Give me a moment. I always forget because I don't use these as often as I wish. 18. DC 18.
He hits 18 on the nose.
Motherfucker.
And you watch, he struggles and goes, get the fuck out of here, or we're going to take you down. And initiative at this point.
Pattern.
Initiative at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I get advantage.
Before you end up
God damn it.
taking out the entire battle on... oh, no, Kate's not in this encounter.
Simon, wait. Before we roll initiative, I've just realised.
What's that?
As a reaction, makes an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can force the creature to re-roll.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I cast Chronal Shift.
Hey,
character.
thank you.
And he has to re-roll.
He fails. He's stuck in
18.
place.
Yeah, I'm going to amplify it.
Yeah.
I feel this should be something I said before they roll, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um.
You did say you were going to amplify. Yeah.
Yeah, you did
Yeah,
say
you
it.
did.
I'm just gonna say
So the curse lasts for 1 minute.
Yep.
At the end of its turns, at the end of every of its turns, it can try again.
Yep.
On a success, the curse ends. But yeah, he will not be able to move for an entire minute.
Okay.
100 rounds.
Sure. In that case, I've
need to
just
take damage.
I've just screwed up. Hang on.
6.
End encounter. Finish.
Also, yes, chat, you did not ask, but I feel the need to state this. Glory's thought process is, I don't need to know how to pick locks because I can just make the door open itself for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've taken Kate out of this. I've rebalanced it to not have Kate, so you guys can just flow through without the extra shenanigans. This is obviously going to take more than one session, but let's see how we go.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, but this was always meant to have a certain amount of RP. It's RP and combat. So Nick, what's your initiative?
26.
26. Nice.
Nat
Felicia.
20 with a 6.
13.
13. Corinne.
Oh no. 6.
Distracted Kitty. Rodrigo.
11.
11. Okay. We should be able to get a round off.
Eclipse got confused by the fact that the doors opened themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah. Nick. / farewell. You go first. What do you want to do? You can see the Houndmaster is held in place.
So, looking at his pallid complexion, do I feel that he is diseased or under some form of malady?
He looks like he's under several maladies, but no more than the average shitty villager.
Right. This is more poor diet, poor hygiene,
Yeah.
poor care.
Yeah.
Really. You know, we really shouldn't have to fight like this. This is so silly.
The dogs look
Fine.
like they're about to jump.
Yep. I will cast at a 2nd level. Command again. On the dogs. And I will command them to grovel. And they fall prone and it will end their turn on their turn.
At 2nd level, you can do 2 out of the 4 dogs.
Oh, is there 4? Is
There
there?
are 4 dogs in front of you, yeah.
Oh, in that case, I'll cast it at 4th level.
Okay, so you're going to tell the dogs to
Lie down.
lie down. And
Yeah,
that's-
in a very commanding voice.
Okay, and that's a wisdom saving throw, so they're all going to go for that.
19.
19, I do not... Yeah, they didn't get a natural 20, because that's the
Wait,
only
what
way
is
they could
that?
have... The dogs yelp, and all of them sit down with their... like Corinne's doing, with their muzzle on their haunches. Bad dog.
My dog.
Bad dog.
This lasts about 6 seconds. Whatever we're gonna do it now. That's my turn.
Okay. Next up is the houndkeeper, houndsman. What was your DC, Rodrigo? 18, wasn't it?
18. Yeah.
He's
Although
clearly
I'm
he's clearly trying
Yeah.
to strain against it, but fails. So that's him. Next up is Felicia. You've got 4 groveling dogs and a guy straining against invisible bonds. What are you doing?
No matter.
No matter is what she wants. How to not murder.
I mean, that sleep idea you had was a rather good one.
I don't have fucking sleep.
Oh.
if it's not about vaporizing others, she doesn't
I
have
have
it.
very few control spells. I mostly have acid.
You have polymorph.
But I
Ugh.
can help. I can help.
I'll remind you that on your turn you can also give the door a command.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
The door
But
is
the
currently
door is
stuck.
kind of like stuck to its hinges, I'm guessing.
Yes, it is within swinging distance of 2 of the dogs, though.
Uh,
They're already.
I'm not gonna kick some dogs that are laying down, even though they're kind of bad.
Bad dog.
I shall leave that for the rest of them.
You still leave it a car.
Cora, we got some dogs to murder.
Yeah.
Kate somewhere out there is feeling a disturbance in the force. I know it.
An animal
it's-
that has
it's-
not been maimed or killed. I must correct this.
I mean, we're like terrible on like, you know, that thing that's like Does the Dog Die website.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the
Awful.
dog dies.
Yes, the dog dies, the cat dies, the gerbil dies, the pig dies.
Felicia. / Glory. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was actually considering just looking around. Can I see where the next floor is?
Yeah, there's a central spiral staircase in the middle of the
We knew there were more than one person, so I would
Yeah.
like to hold a polymorph for the first person to walk down those stairs.
Absolutely. So yeah, this bottom floor, the circle is divided into 1/2 and 2/4. You are looking into the half, which seems to be like the storeroom at the bottom. There seems to be a couple of other bits here, yeah, it's you got the dogs. It smells awful. Smells so bad in here.
Yeah.
This kind of old, tired, sweaty, putrid smell. And it's not the smell of dog. The smell of dog is kind of wholesome. This is bad. So yeah, you hold a polymorph spell. Aiden.
So I know we're not gonna kill anyone, but god damn, did they really try my patience? So I am going to let them feel that. Whoever the guy who is like currently stuck, binded, I'm going to shoot him with the witch lock. So I'm gonna attack with the witch
Sure.
lock. I'm not gonna do.
as you
I'm not
do
gonna
so-
make a call.
As you do so, you pull out the gun. Your finger goes to touch the trigger, and as you do so, that spark that came from your mother's hand
Oh, no.
sparks onto the gun.
Shit! Oh no! Oh no!
I'd like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
No.
and I'll do the dogs.
Oh no.
No, the dogs. Well,
Aiden has the immunity to fire ring, by
Oh,
the way.
the dog's got a
I think it's
natural
resistance,
one.
but
oh no, doggy.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
That's not good. That's
29.
11 for farewell.
Okay, you fail. Yep. And with your evasion eclipse, you hit the deck. You know what that little bead of red light is. You just hit the deck. Felicia, what did you get?
Well, I rolled a 6, but I have my ring of evasions, which I will use one charge to save my dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
God damn it.
Hey,
Okay.
my girlfriend loves me and she knows what I'm bad at, so what's needed to compensate?
I need.
Girlfriend you haven't seen in like real life years.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, but
Few
in
months.
in-game terms, she's seen her like last week. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So let me roll these 8d6.
You didn't need me to roll a dexterity save?
No, you don't have
You're
a choice.
ground central, but you've got immunity to fire.
Right.
Okay, so
It
that's-
doesn't matter if you dodge, duck, or just stand there. You ain't taking shit.
You can say what you do for flavor, but
Oh, that's a fair amount of damage. Okay, so
By the way, if you're watching this, my retribution will be swift.
Joseph, this is you. Yeah.
thank you.
As you try, this isn't going to replace your turn. We'll get to your your turn now,
Thank
Rodrigo. So yeah, a fireball centered on yourself at level 3 goes off.
Poor dog.
Everyone who didn't get the DC 18 saving throw takes 36 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Ow.
The dogs are obliterated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's nothing I
oh.
can do about that one.
Obliterated. Rodrigo, I will give you a free action. Give me that perception check with advantage again.
That's much better. Give me a moment. I think that's 19. Let me
19.
check again.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
19.
So, two things you notice. First of all, when the fireball goes off, the dogs wag their tails when they see it.
What?
Oh!
Then they get obliterated. Those weren't dogs.
Oh.
You don't know what they
I
were, but in the
see.
last second you go, those aren't fucking... And then they're just scattered ash.
Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, I'm gonna make this hurt even more then.
Just gonna get
so-
rid of all the doggies.
So I don't want to make this a cold shot. I just want to add this for flavor, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to shoot him with a witch lock. My patience been tried, and now after seeing this with the dogs, I have a sneaking suspicion that these weren't dogs originally. All right, so I'm going to make these shots hurt. Aiden is specifically aiming for like the kneecaps or the shins or anywhere where he were hurt on this guy.
So you're
Okay.
aiming for his dick.
Yes,
I mean,
and he's paralyzed, so
Yep.
at least it's not pissing in your direction.
no.
Because that has happened.
Fair enough. But yeah, so that will be the Witchlock pistol. It's gonna be just regular shots, right? So the first one. That's a C. Fuck. I'm gonna say that's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, hit.
Okay. Second one.
Let's the dog die.
Another
Yes.
19. Another 19 to hit.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 1d8 plus dex plus 1. So
Mhm.
let me see. 1d8. Cool. 8 plus 4, 12 plus 1. 13 points of fire damage.
Yep, it doesn't do as much damage as you expected.
Second
No?
one.
Fire.
But at least you're aiming for the dick.
Yeah, I'm making this hurt. And second one is 5 plus 4, 9 plus 1, 10 points of fire damage. And let me see if it's
Isn't it fire radiant damage rather than fire damage?
Yeah.
fire radiant.
Oh, Fire
yes,
Radiant.
that's-
In that case, he takes
yeah,
the whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for
and
reminding
if-
me.
This is more of a technical question. If they're undead, they take a 1d6 extra radiant?
You know that this is not an undead being.
Okay, so
That's something at least.
yeah, so
It's probably demonic.
that's it.
Devilish.
Considering that I thought this was going to be enough because I thought this was going to be some farmers, it's clear that's not the case. Like not some farmers, but some like hick idiots.
Yeah.
Right? The fucking protagonist of Redneck Rampage.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you shot him in the crotch. His trousers are on fire.
I shot him
he-
in one of the kneecaps, and then I shot him in the dick.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, his trousers are on fire. He's gritting his teeth as he's trying to get away from these bonds, but doesn't seem to be overly concerned about an amount of damage that would kill the average farmer.
Yeah, so as soon as I see that, I draw my sword and my bonus action. Oh yeah, by the way, I think it says here that if I hit, I think I recover just 1 point of health.
Yeah.
If the attack hits, no, my health is normal because it costs 1 HP.
It costs 1, and you get it back if you
And
hit.
then,
Yeah.
so my
It's a
health
little
is
gamble
the
with a
same
hit
as-
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot that little detail. But yeah, I'm just going to cast Crimson Right. I'm just going to draw my sword, draw it on my hand, and I'm going to use Rite of the Dawn to, gonna make this thing shine.
Get some radiant. Yeah, go on.
6 damage on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. In that case, we're going to finish off for tonight with the Murder Kitty.
Bad.
Um,
Well, now we've established these guys are actually devils, or whatever they are. Most likely devils.
They are clearly not
Not
human,
human.
Not
and they're
human.
also clearly not good beings because
Mm.
I have a sneaking suspicion about those. Like, Aiden has not shared this with a group, obviously, but he has not great feelings about those dogs.
Yes.
We maybe kind of did them a
well,
service.
the dogs were, yeah. I say,
Yeah, I'm
they were
getting
weird.
full Metal Alchemist vibes from this, and
I'm
that's
getting
not a
some
good
vibes,
thing.
yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all,
Eduardo.
no.
Fuck off.
What's the lighting like in here, Simon? Is it mimsy?
The lighting is indeed mimsy because it's inside a large stone building.
Cool. I get advantage of my stealth check. Because I need that.
It's not hard to stealth against a guy who can only look in one direction.
25. Because I
Yes,
rolled.
that hits.
That was a stealth, so I can get my,
yes, definitely.
so I can get my advantage, which I'm gonna roll with on here because none.
Yes, we know the rogue MO. Go for it.
Flow. Okay, does a 28 hit?
Let me check. Just. Yeah.
Just.
Sweaty Houndmaster, AC 27. So yeah.
Plus. How many d6s? 7! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Scumfuse, you genius. Yes, the door. No,
What
Yes.
killed?
no, the door is on 14 hit points. But thank you for reminding me.
The door was not killed.
Like I say, large, thick oak doors, pretty resistant to fire, even in D&D.
Oh, that was a terrible.
Did you roll
Sneak
a lot
attack
of
roll.
ones? Yeah.
I rolled lots of ones, yeah. 16 plus 9 is 25.
Yeah. You go in and this ridiculously quiet chain knife zips around you and you plunge it into him And yep, how much was that? Sorry, again, 25. Yeah.
25, yeah.
Yeah.
Of magic stab damage.
Yeah. Seems to go in quite nicely.
Yes, but he's still alive.
Yes.
Yes.
As you stab into the body seems more, what's the word? Robust than the average human body.
I mean, can I tell that it's not human by like stabbing into him?
Yes, almost.
Yeah.
Definitely. You stabbed. Yeah, this thing is probably 3 or 4 times the density of
It
even the
didn't blow a
largest
hole.
being. Yeah.
It didn't blow a hole open through his chest. He must
Yeah.
not be human.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think this has got probably about 4 or 5 times the density of the strongest dwarf or Goliath you have seen.
Yeah. Not human, you can go. Not human, release the glory.
Released the beast.
Yeah, looks around the room. There's only one human. It's like the others like, thanks to.
There's yeah, this is our they have a cave troll moment. It's we have a glory.
Bring out the BFG 10,000.
Okay.
I
So,
mean, melt will get through most things.
with the dogs obliterated by Joseph, that's Joseph's kill, by the way. None of you guys get that.
He
Yeah.
did this. He did
Yeah,
this.
That's fair,
he gets the
that's
XP. With the dogs obliterated, the Houndmaster ridiculously resistant to your attacks compared to the average human or the average person who would look like him. You can hear that there's a scuffling about on the floor above. But we are going to leave that there for tonight. A big thank you to Corinne, Felicia, Nick, and Rodrigo for their story today. Kate will be back with us next week, where I will magically scale up this encounter for her. And big thank you to all your all of you for all of your interactions in chat. As always, it's my honor to be your DM. Join us on Sunday night for the finale of Lancer: A Fast Farewell. And thank you to everybody who has given me voice acting and little clips to put together for the finale. It's been an absolute joy to put them all together. And tomorrow I've got lots of animation to do I say animation, graphics to put together to put the final touches on the finale. So we'll be doing that. Then Monday we've got Numenera again, and then middle of the week at the moment is quite quiet, but not for much longer. More about that another time. So we're going to go and say...
Announcement in regards to Lancer.
Yeah.
There's still one slot open or no room for a wallflower. So if you're interested in playing a Lancer campaign that I'll be running, DM me or at me on Discord, whatever. And because that's literally the only thing we're missing before we begin with that.
Yep, so one more player. If you want to get in on the absolute chaos of gigantic mechs making the DM cry, then
please join.
This
Take
time it's
my
fine.
spot.
I'm not the GM, so
Be happy. I unfortunately have to return to the duties of being a healer.
Yes, the WoW addicts are being dragged back in to the mire. So
yeah, same month I stopped my subscription. They're like, "Oh no, we're losing people. Bring out the patch."
Yep. It's how they get their paychecks, man. It's how they get their paychecks.
I'm looking at you, Joseph. Yeah, again.
Yeah, Joseph, dude, come build a giant mech, play with us. It is awesome. I'm so glad that I get to play again, actually. Okay, so we are going to raid somebody who I think we raided this time last week, and that's Maori Nerd. And I was going to raid somebody else, and then I saw that he's playing Tales from the Loop. If you haven't if you haven't seen the Tales of the Loop role-playing game, Corinne and I played it under Ed as a DM, and you know how good a DM he is. And we all got to play our 13-year-old selves and go off and follow a fantastic story.
I played the popular girl, which I was not.
I played
when I was little.
I played basically the spectacled kid from Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, so I was in my comfort zone. But yeah,
I mean, I would like to argue that I don't think any one of us was the popular kid.
Probably not.
Only in my mind. Only in my mind. But we also got to learn about 80s Sweden because Tales of the Loop has 2 modes. You can either be at the Loop in the US or the Loop in Sweden. So every so often, Corinne was telling us bits about like Swedish sweets and things like that, and TV shows and all different stores. So we learned a lot
Anyways,
as part of that. So
I feel we could stay here forever.
yeah, don't worry, we're not. I just thought a big shout out to Tales of the Loop, fantastic game, and a very simple system as well. So we're going to go and raid Mary Nerd. So stick around, and we'll raid in just a second. Until then, have a fantastic weekend and good night.
Have a lovely weekend,
Night.
everyone.